not like their country being called Thailand.
Why?
Because it sounds like you're talking about Thais. Thai. Yeah, it has to be Thai. Thailand.
GCS부터 RPL까지 그리고 국제
You
대회인
don't
AIC와
you don't
AWC까지
incorporate the
짝
H too
선수와
much.
저는
It sounds like
수많은
Thai.
경기를
Thailand.
함께했습니다.
Thailand.
저희는
Yeah.
원년 챔피언이고
Exactly. Thailand.
이번에 새로운 오피니언으로
Thailand.
돌아온 만큼
Like
그 영광을 다시
the
한번
Thai
누리고
food.
싶습니다.
The song
Một năm trước tại AIC 2018,
Wait, they also
dấu
have
ấn
Tom
chúng
Yum
tôi
here,
để
right?
lại chỉ là một đội tuyển non trẻ.
What's the difference?
Thì nay chúng tôi đến để khẳng định lại vị thế,
It's like
để có một chỗ đứng rõ ràng trên bản đồ liên quân thế giới.
I don't know the difference though.
在 GCS 夏季赛初，没人看好 HKA 能拿下冠军，但在这2个月的比赛里
不要讲，华语
我们不服输的决心以及努力不懈的精神，让团
Oh
练
yeah,
上帝
here's another
不
thing.
只是团
We
练
don't have
上帝，
in-game sounds on our
我们也
headsets.
证
But
明
we
了
can
自
hear
己
each
的
other
实
though.
力，拿下
So we have to make
GCS
the
冠
most out
军
of it.
宝座。而这股精神，我们也将持续延烧下
throat's
去
so freaking，
横扫
dry. I think it's 'cause of all
2019
those honey
AIC 国际
stars.
赛
Oh。my god，tummy ache。
Jitters are because of what you ate.
Every time.
Cast?
Selama bertahun-tahun,
Ah.
menghadiri banyak turnamen
At
internasional,
least your body knows you're
kami
casting.
selalu stabil karena tidak ada perubahan besar dalam personal. Bocah ajaib sudah memiliki keberanian yang lebih stabil di panggung internasional. Jadi saya percaya bahwa AIC 2019 akan menjadi musim bagi AOP Indonesia untuk memiliki terobosan yang belum pernah terjadi sebelumnya.
在今年 AWC 以及 GCS 夏季赛失利后，我们从中学习了许多挫折的洗礼以及丰富的国际赛经验。存在着粉丝期盼的我们不再害怕，期待勇敢追逐世界冠军的梦想。请再为我们欢呼一次！我们是 One Team 我挺。
Although we're only rookie team at AIC 2019, marami kaming surprise na inihanda katulad ng aming pagkapanalo sa MSP Championship.
I think AIC, after a year, Nova Esports will eliminate all previous prejudice and bring explosive energy from Europe.
很多人都因为我们很神秘而感到畏惧，没错，请当心我们的怪物动物以及强势会对不进你，你躲到哪儿它就会在哪儿。我们不止神秘，更是你的噩梦。我们是 AK。
今年の AWC と比べたら僕たちはたくさんの変化があった。この変化をもって今回の AIC では僕たちの侍精神を全て見せてあげよう。
ตอนนั้นเราแพ้ในรอบเซมิไฟแนลของ AWC ที่ผ่านมาเพียงแค่แต้มเดียว แต่ในรายการนี้เราจะกลับมาทวงบัลลังก์แชมป์และจะโค่นทีมแฟลตลงให้ได้ครับผม
Team Flash đang là thế lực mạnh nhất tại giải đấu này. Chúng tôi đến để chinh phục nốt chiếc cúp danh giá AIC 2019.
Xe ăn tạt tận sẽ ra bánh cao Xuân bánh cơm được tạt tận sẽ ra.
Và với bộ sưu tập danh hiệu danh giá này sẽ khiến Team Flash trở thành một huyền thoại sống của Liên quân thế giới.
Gentlemen, this is the Arena of Valor International Championship 2019 quarterfinals. From all corners of the earth, we have gone from their own qualifiers in their own regions to the group stage and now into the playoffs. My name is Asarai, and joining me now is a new face. It's Yumiko, and we'll be your casters for this day. And of course, before everything, we'd like to thank our sponsors.
Definitely.
Yeah, Tencent Games, Garena, CJ E&M, and would you like to finish?
OGN, True Online, and True Icon Hall.
Yeah, so today it's gonna be a very exciting set of matches. So we've gone through two series already where IGP Gaming won theirs on the first day of the quarterfinals, and then Team Flash, I believe, won theirs on their end. And now, can you want to say to our viewers which?
Drum roll.
Yeah, okay, drum roll, please.
Buriram and Evils. It's like, I'm pretty sure a lot of fans is looking forward to today's match.
Yeah.
Buriram, during the group stage, so far they performed exceptionally so well, only by dropping one game. It was with Flash, if I'm not right.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, during the Group B, that was kind of like the last day of the Group B group stage, and that was like the final match, and it was just kind of like amazing to see. And we did see that Buriram, they play a certain way that I think like players of Arena of Valor might not see eye to eye, which is kind of like a controlled macro heavy type of playstyle. And we saw it like, you know, with the Team Flash game where they didn't really go for a max number of kills per game. They were like more like, if they have to go for the kills, they will, but for the most part they just try to go for that farm.
Yeah, farm. This is how Buriram, it's very surprising how they use this technique, go through the whole group stage and still get the top. They only dropped one game, they won all. But today they'll be fighting against Evils, which has been known for their aggressive playstyle. So I'm really looking forward to how like Evils maybe a surprise upset or maybe not.
Okay,
like, just looking forward.
I'll drop my predictions first here.
Alright.
I've been predicting every single time from day 1 to day 2 that we will have 4-1s. 4-1 in terms of the outcome, right? And I feel like this day 3 might be the most. Again, it's not me being, you know, a bias towards Buriram United. It's more of like how they performed during the group stage, where Evos were kind of like, you know, off to the wayside. They were 4-6. So 4 wins, 6 losses during the group stage, while Buriram was 9-1, which is a very big marker. But of course, that is only the group stage. They were not in the same groups. We couldn't really tell what their power level is. They never really matched up during that particular time. And again, like you said, looking forward to just how it kind of pans out.
Yeah, not only that, because during the group stage, it was, if I'm not wrong, they only played 2 games, and there wasn't the global ban pick rule being implemented there. So, but today we have the BO7 global ban pick rule, so it diversifies their whole champion pool, and you won't see repeated champions being used. So they might be a chance for Evils to actually maybe take a few games or eventually win this.
That's true. Because here's the thing. Going into the group stage, you know, having all of these representatives come, you know, again, perform right now, Buriram, I guess like the Vietnamese were the hard ones to kind of like be the favorites to actually win the group stage and, you know, ultimately win here in the playoffs. But I feel like there's a lot of support for Buriram, not only from their own, you know, from their own country, but also from the others, where they've seen them perform exceptionally well. Now, earlier this year, Buriram never really saw a good chunk of performance. Like they were visible during the AWC, the World Cup, where they actually lost to Davida during the playoffs, and they never really got to the point where they could have, you know, shown themselves really on the main stage. It was, I believe, AHQ who won the AWC, but I feel like if BRU were able to kind of reach that, they might have, you know, made AHQ have a run for their money. And now you saw it like during the start of the stream, they said like, we are here to establish that Thai is a very scary region, and here they are.
Thai region has been known for being a very solid region, especially in Arena of Valor. You can see previous AWC, it also won by Thai teams.
Yeah.
So coming from a very strong powerhouse country from the tie. Buriram probably they want to bring this honor. They want to win this. So like you say, they might be a 4-0. They might be a 4-1.
I'm predicting the 4-1, but what do you think? Like, how about you? Are you looking at Evos, the group from Indonesia, to kind of use that aggressive play style, get the much needed counteract to how Buriram plays, which is slow and methodical?
I like surprises, so I'm really looking forward to how Evos can surprise me or maybe you by using the aggressive play style, throw it into Buriram. And flip Buriram around. But I'm not sure, maybe Buriram has something up their sleeves today. Maybe something different.
And something different? We'll just have to see, as now we're gonna go straight into this highlights. Let's just watch it, guys.
Có thể được lạc tín rồi. Sang cực tốc tiến lên kéo Hans vào tầm đánh của chủ. Có sự kết dịch rất tốt giữa cây và lạc và 2 điểm hạ gục. Kiệt Anh hoàn hảo.แล้วบอลโอ้โดนไปเยอะแบบนี้แอนเจลิสเบนเดอร์ลงมาโอ้เลยดีครับผมมีทางด้านของเคียวหลบออกมาได้ก่อนนะrất yếu rồi mặc dù có 92 trăm tiền đây úp một đôi Eli đã hạ cùng được Bayern và chúng ta bấm vào Eli bị chủ bàn Eli quá hay
有点奇怪了，但是后面记者要来抓他，想要抓的是在谁身上？一抓话搭配的是突然的外向进场，是有收掉对方的，他比杰里瑟前锋的话 ADC 也是因为想要进攻。这只有高山啊！这打都打完，打有点是说了吗？这个打天兵啊，说的是说他们天打。
2 g b Fiber เน็ตบ้าน 1,000 เมกมาพร้อม2 g b Fiber Router เร็วแรงทั่วบ้านเพียง 799 บาท พร้อมดูฟรี True Premier League กว่า 100 แมตช์ตลอดฤดูกาลจัดเต็มกับความสุขที่ได้มากกว่าสมัครวันนี้คลิก
Click that indeed. 2,700 seating capacity with retractable seat. I don't even know what that means, but I just think it's fancy. You know? It just means that it's fancy.
It looks so fancy. It looks like those kind of halls you go for orchestra.
Yeah, or if you wanna attend the what do you call that for the movies where they give you the trophies?
Award show.
Yeah, award shows,
Yeah.
right? The Oscar award shows. That's what you can actually watch these games and go in there with gala dresses and tuxedos, and people won't bat an eyelash on you.
But this is what AIC.
Yeah, right.
Finals.
It's international. We're international right now, and here we go. First game in this best of 7. This is already the global finals, and we begin this. So what do you think, Yumiko? What's going to be Evo's first pick to kind of prioritize, especially now that everything is still available on the table?
Evo's first pick. Okay, from the previous, what I saw from the group stages, they have been frequently picking up the Elsu, the Kilgrove, but not too sure about the first game, how they want to play it around, because once again, this is a BO7 and it uses up the global ban pick rule set. And sometimes you don't want to throw out all your strongest hero in the first game.
Yeah, I was talking about this with Zero the other day, where we kind of wanted, or we were talking about how you have to spread out the picks. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket because it's more of a prolonged series. This is a 3D chess match where it's not only per game that you have to worry about. It's the entire set that you have to worry about, at least in terms of the hero picks. And that is where it starts to become a little bit scary, you know, because if you don't have a big enough pool, or if you don't, like you said, if you're not careful with the picks, you will kind of pay for it. Now, checking out the very start of this one, we won't be seeing Zip, Florentino, Yena, and the Hayate. But yeah, there it is. It's the Krizzix. Here it is with the long tongue and that very annoying pull.
It's a chameleon.
Chameleon. I always think that he's a frog because, like, if you look at that AR model, doesn't look like a frog to you.
But he's a chameleon that goes camouflage. It makes sense.
Makes a lot more. I mean, frogs can do that. They're amphibian. They have certain abilities with their skin that like lets them also be in camouflage. Not as chameleons though. They can change their color at will, but it's sort of similar. But okay, enough of the anatomy. Evos though hovering over, or actually getting the Kilgroth and the Darcy.
Ooh. Like as usual, Zip is perma banned. I guess we won't be seeing that round little kill animal running around the map for now. But we never know. Maybe they'll open up later on. Now on the side of Buriram, they have hovered over Varus and not too sure what's the first one's gonna pick.
You're probably gonna be looking for something that can deal with this Kilgroth. It actually will be nice to pick up this Omen, and they will, and that will shut down the Kilgroth at least at the very start. But once the Kilgroth starts to kind of snowball a little bit more, that's when it's going to be a problem. And we were talking about this a while ago. That is where Evo starts to shine. When they have these aggressive type of heroes, they can use it to initiate team fights, to get the objectives that they want, and this is something that they will definitely look to handle. Buriram, on the other hand, really loves to play that slow, methodical, kind of make you want to just rip your hair out type of gameplay because they don't want to go for fights.
Yeah, that's why you can see they picked up the Omen, the Talanas, the Krizzix. Krizzix, it's definitely going to be the first pick whenever it's open, but now they pick it up in the first match. We won't be seeing Buriram picking up it in the next match later on. Ooh, the second ban phase is now coming up. Liliana.
It's gonna undergo just a little bit here, and look at this. Evos immediately take away a lot of the mid lane that BRU can actually get. And what's kind of interesting from BRU is that they prioritize Tel'Anas over a mid lane pick for their third rotation, which suits that they're just kind of thinking that we want to start off with a kind of pace yourself type of ADC, which works well to their favor. But now, losing the ability to get some really nice picks with that Diachan and the Liliana, there's not a lot of protect for Tel'Anas here. Maybe with the Krizzix, but I don't think Krizzix is more of a defend type of hero. It's going to be difficult, so they need something to kind of keep her alive.
Definitely, they need a frontliner to keep them alive, but the problem is they ban out like Bowdom. They ban out the Omega, so I'm really wondering what they're gonna really pick up for their frontliner. Maybe a Tain, but they already had Krizzix as a support.
Yeah, that's
which
the
is
thing,
pretty
right? Go for something in the jungle that can control the pace of the game here. Of course, Ignis is the only one other really strong mage that can really provide you some AoE. It's not as strong as the Diao-Chan in terms of the CCs, but it should be fine. Tel'Anas though, alright, it seems like they're not going to be able to keep that protect rolling, but at least you do have some team fight power here for Buriram. And of course, once the ball does start to roll, the game does progress, BRU's Omen should start to kind of, you know, show its stride a little bit more. Omen is a very difficult hero to kill. Maybe only got shut down by Kilgroth, but that is at a certain point in time when Kilgroth gets really, really strong in this first game.
So definitely what Buriram has to do right now is to kind of shut down Kilgroth early on. If they don't do that, it will be a little bit of trouble handling the Kilgroth later on because he'll be a nuisance, split pushing the lanes, sometimes even go unnoticed.
Agreed, right? It's very difficult to kind of match everything especially when you're going to be up against such an explosive comp here that Evos has set for themselves. But something that I kind of want to point out right now, something that has kind of, you know, bypassed our vision, our spectrum, is that the ADC for Evos is a Ryoma. So we haven't really seen too many teams really employ an ADC melee hero just because it doesn't scale well into the late game. So it's already showing that Evos, well, I feel like they want to force this early game to as much as they can.
Living up to the name, being that aggressive team play style team. Like you say, they picked up the Ryoma as their AD Abyssal Dragon laner, which is pretty rare, pairing up with, I assume, the Omar as their support, the roamer.
Yeah.
So definitely this, you can see from this team composition, they are definitely going for an aggressive dive kind of composition.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, let's just play the Yu-Gi-Oh music. This is the duelist comp, you know? You want to always keep the fight rolling, the fight continuing for EVO's esports. And we'll leave you for this one for the intro, then we'll be back for game 1. All right, viewers, what do you think? Hashtag BRU win, hashtag EVOS win. Put your support in the chat. Tell us what do you think about it. We'll have a little bit of a pause here as they're going to figure out what's happening here. But for the moment, it seems very incredibly dangerous to actually start off with this Ryoma Ormer matchup. It's pretty strong in what it can do, but the thing is, the ability to be peeled off by BRU is something something very difficult to also handle with. Okay, you seem a little bit like tense. What are your thoughts on the composition of EVOs? Do you like it? Don't you like it? Is it good? Is it bad?
A little bit of mixed feeling because you see they have 3 melee, which is the Omar, Ryoma, and the Q-Graph. The only like range hero was the Darcy and the Delchan. So they have to fully utilize this against an Ignis, a Talanas. Talanas has really long range and you really have to find ways to kind of touch your Talanas.
I don't know what to feel about that term. Touch your Talanas.
Touch your Talanas.
Yeah, I get what you mean though. I get what you mean. It's going to be very difficult to kind of dive right straight into the face of the Talanas because, again, BRU were pretty adamant at actually getting this Murad to themselves. Although, of course, we already saw the Darcy and the Diaochan in the first rotation for EVOs, but that was never really going to be the case. What's going to happen here now for EVOs is they have to peel through the front line first, or if Talanas or Defoxen actually makes a mistake in his positioning, which he rarely does, that's when they kind of can punish her. But again, this is all going to be in terms of how EVOs can really start this fight. Talanas not really a strong mobile ADC, so that is where their window of opportunity will lie for EVOs.
Yeah, especially paired up with the Kha'Zix. He can run away, even if met with danger. Let's say somehow EVOs manage to overcome the frontliners, get to Talanas, but there is a Kha'Zix there to invisible that Talanas and run away, like the magic cloak.
That's true. You can keep your ADC alive for very long. And what's kind of strong about the Talanas is that she can really destroy towers quickly. So again, EVOs are on kind of sort of a timer here. They can make use of the Kilgroth, but if Kilgroth can't really reach a Talanas, I don't think Kilgroth can make anything happen because he has to be in the middle of the fights, you know, to get that lifesteal rolling. And if you can't, he's pretty much useless.
And what Kilgroth really need to do is he can't really go around in early game. He has to farm up in his lane. So typically, you won't see a Kilgroth roaming around a lot, so it might be a bit harder for him to get to the Talanas. But late game, we never know.
A lot of commitment here to the bottom side. You know, in terms of the rotation, they aren't really looking towards the Omen and the Kilgroth. They're just going to leave them on their own island, which actually should be fine. But speaking of that one, look at this immediate touchdown onto Poka. He's not going to be able to escape. There's a beautiful Temporal Turbulence with the crowd control that they have, and that's the first blood here for BRU.
He got caught. Poka kind of got caught right in the middle. Once again, he is Omar. He's just level 3, haven't hit his level 4, so it's really hard for him to kind of run away. Additionally, he didn't take a flicker. So, looking good for BRU at this point for now.
Yeah, they still haven't gotten any big objectives though, but here is our replays on that one. How did they actually lock in that Ormar?
Ooh.
Yeah, definitely right. Not having a flicker really does kind of decapitate your ability to escape the fights, especially if you don't have a built-in blink mechanic with your character. Now there's a big shutdown onto Hans there. You saw perfect ultimate execution from the Fox and followed up by his own team. this is the power of the Kriziks, the ability to boost up your team and then immediately destroy them. Your opponents, rather.
Yeah, I like how they rotate down to the map as a team, which makes them really, really strong in team fights. Usually, if you were to separate them, like now, maybe a bit harder for them to execute team fight, but look at the rotation coming in from the side of BRU. They're slowly moving down to the bot lane. Even Evos is also slowly focusing down on the bot side because Abyssal Dragon is up.
It's the thing for Evos here. They're going to try to make all these plays happen. They're going to try to initiate all these team fights, but the only utility, the only starters that they have for their roster, their team composition, is probably the Darcy and the Diao-chan. You get yourself that Frost, you're going to be able to lock someone down, but how can you do that when Kriziks can actually boost up the entire team to escape, like you said, right, with invisibility and all that stuff. And then the Darcy can maybe use his Dimensional Rift, but it's also the same kind of situation. It's going to be, you know, a little bit iffy for them to kind of start the fight. So how can Evos with this aggressive comp really go at it when BRU also has a pretty nice disengage comp?
Look at how aggressive the Kriziks is. It's definitely just trying to shut down Evos. Like, Evos is supposed to be the one being the aggressive one here, but I'm pretty surprised that BRU is indeed the other way around. They're playing it the other way around. Like, you used to say that BRU used to play up the farm, but look at that, they are just fighting teams down. They're taking up a team fight, but too bad. Hans will be taken down, but Nunu is getting stuck in the middle of all the Evos.
Ooh, that's going to be pretty bad. He tried to escape there, but there's some pretty sick lockdown from Evos here. If they can find it, they will be able to catch it. That is the good thing about their composition. We're talking about how difficult it is, but when they can pull it off, they pull it off extremely well there. While that was happening, first one destroys the top tier one. Isolindus is going to be here in the bottom lane. Look at how he's just kind of, you know, flickering over, or rather he's just kind of traversing around all these AoEs. Able to kind of keep himself alive for as long as possible. And now first one comes in. He doesn't have the ultimate just yet, though.
He's going to try to go dive in the tower, try to get the V-Roar, but unable to do so. I like how BRU, even though there was a team fight at the bot lane earlier on, they did sacrifice two members, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
But the other team member, they did not like waste their time walking down to the bot lane. They took this advantage. They take down the first tier 1 tower in the top side, in the mid side too. So I like how BRU is trying to play around with this.
They're going to also be able to destroy some towers. That's the extra range, you know, that Tel'Anas really does bring to the ballpark for BRU here. And even through all of those kills for Evos, they're still down in terms of the gold just because of how kind of aggressive they are trying to go force these kills, while BRU is still playing their own specific type of gameplay here, which is to try to get objectives more and more as this, you know, as this game progresses. Now they have the bottom tier 1, the top tier 1, and now Defoxen will make quick work of this one. Another tower, you know, taken by BRU.
Someone stop Tel'Anas! But too bad, Evos looks like they are pretty much fixated in the top side. They want to take down Iceland. How do you pronounce his IG?
Isolindus.
Isolindus, yeah.
Yeah, I know it's a little bit confusing because of how the spelling is, but that is what they told me is the proper pronunciation of it. I know he sounds like he's from, like, you know, from Lord of the Rings, right? You know?
Gandalf.
Yeah, Gandalf. Isolindus.
Isolindus. Oh. Look at how BRU, they are straight going for the objective. They do not waste any time. Straight for the Dark Slayer. It's 7 minutes into game. Whew, BRU.
So the difficult thing here for Evos is that because they wanted to destroy the top tier 1, they wasted a minute or so of trying to take it, but BRU were very good in keeping that tower alive, and they wasted a lot of that. They wasted a lot of experience and gold that they could have gotten in the other lanes, which is why we're seeing here BRU start to kind of stack up in terms of that gold. And aside from that, the mispositionings from Polka really are starting to show right now. He got caught 2 or 3 times already by the Omen, by the Tel'Anas, and with that, Darkslayer, like we said, has already been picked up.
Evos definitely have to group up because so far we've been seeing how Evos being picked up one by one. Like now, they picked up Hands. Second one probably will be Polka. The Foxen going straight to Polka. He's stuck between 4 men. His teammate can't do anything at the backside.
Well, that's going to be pretty bad here for Evos. Now, they're not they can't really find their stride for the moment. Y-Force, on the other hand, with this Kilowgroth, still trying to kind of get his ball rolling, his ability to kind of spike into the late game, but it seems like, you know, BRU, they've already actually reached their win condition, which is to keep the Foxen alive here, get him his items, and now because of that Darkslayer, because of that Drake, they're able to take this bottom tier 3 9 minutes into this game. That is a very quick start here for BRU.
I like how they equalize the lane pressure equally on all lanes. Look at how Ignis and Krizix is at the mid side, while Ta'anas, they send Ta'anas to the top side, take down that final, is it the tier 2 tower?
Tier 3, I think.
Tier 3 tower. So I really like how they're rotating the team. They don't really stick as much as a group. So once that EVOS is being distracted at one lane, they go to another lane.
Aside from that, you know, with just how well they are in terms of kind of just rotating around, do they even know that Hans is? Oh, they know that Hans is there. Oh no, yeah. This is what was about to talk about. EVOS' composition is kind of like a one-in, all-in, wherein if they make a mistake in diving at BRU's lineup, they can't really disengage. Well, BRU has a lot of options to be able to kind of dip in, dip out of the fight, and waste the ultimates, waste the cooldowns of EVOS. They're doing this really, really well, and EVOS, they can't really be hesitant in just forcing the fight. If they force a fight, they really have to finish it through, or else they lose everything and then gain nothing in exchange.
Definitely. Because see, like you say, diving down, especially the mirror, but hold up.
Oh, it's going to be pretty sneaky here as Polka is going to be in the middle of everything. Use his spin to win. It's not going to matter at all as everybody from EVOS was on the other side of that wall. Can't really respect, can't really help out their support. And now, first one's going to come in here. There's the use onto that Temporal Turbulence. Of course, he's going to be able to scooch on out of there. And Y-Force is going to be in the middle of the fight. This is the perfect time right now for EVOS to force them right out, respecting the power output. And my goodness, that's going to be Weera on the other hand. He thought he was going to be able to escape because the range of the Honest was weakened because she did have that skill on cooldown. But of course, there's a fireball coming out from the Ignis. Now 2 towers are already knocked out. There's going to be the Nexus exposed already. And this is going to be the final one. It seems like they're going to charge right in. Polka's not going to end himself just yet. He's going to be the punching bag. He has to give a lot more time for his teammates to kind of recuperate, regenerate, and rejuvenate. This is going to be bad, though, as Hans is caught in the middle of 5. There's the Nexus, and that is going to be game 1. Quick game. Very quick game.
I would say like you mentioned previously, how Polka often get caught like in a very wrong position.
Yeah.
And how they kind of lost that final fight is because they lost Polka. Then they lost Weera, if I'm not wrong.
They did.
Then with 2 members down, it's easier for BRU to just continue on aggressively onto EVOS, so that's how EVOS collapsed.
The thing again that was very difficult is at the very base of it, there is a certain win condition for EVOS to actually make this composition possible. That again, if you pick a Ryoma, that just means that your statement is we're gonna try to win the early game as quickly as possible. Well, obviously because early game, right? But the thing is, when the Ryoma starts to level up, that's when it kind of becomes harder because he doesn't have the best reach tools. You know, he has good range, but if he tries to chase down Telana, she can just kind of kite him a little bit, and that's about it. And we saw Hans tremendously get forced out by BRU, and Evo's had a really difficult time. Even though on paper it looks very, very well made, the win conditions really weren't satisfied by Evo's.
I really wonder, maybe picking up a Ryoma against a Talanas wasn't really a good choice, because clearly they picked up Talanas.
Yeah, here you did pick up the Talanas.
Then I'm not sure why Evos decided to pick up Ryoma. Like you said, it's maybe they want to go for the early team fight, but it didn't really show.
I would think that the Ryoma, even though it's not a good pick, it could have worked well. But the thing with that one is you never really see Polka kind of hold hands with Hans in the bottom lane, right? When you I know it sounds weird, right? But still, you saw that Polka was roaming around. Granted, because that's his job as a support. But if you want to make this work, you need a certain type of crowd control to follow up after the Ryoma kind of picks you up and then scoops you behind his back. And we never really see Poca do that. Even though they could have tried, it didn't really happen for them. And I feel like that's why Hans never really shine in the bottom lane. That's because he didn't have the support of Ormar, and then Tilanas always had the Krizix just kind of like right beside him. So if he's gonna try to collapse onto Tilanas, there's always the Krizix to kind of stop him. So it never really panned out well for EVOS' bottom lane or ADC and support.
So I guess support is important.
Yeah, for sure, right?
Support is important.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why people don't appreciate support as much.
I don't know either. Look, the thing that I've been pointing it out ever since we started the quarterfinals is that I've been amazed at how incredible supports are in this particular tournament. Aside from that, the impact that they give in this tournament is also pretty big. Now, let's just check out the highlights here and see what happened in that entirety of the game. Oh. Yeah, that was just... you saw how Y-Force was trying to run away there. Again, interesting to see that we see no flicker on Poca and Y-Force, more on the movement speed. So, I'm not a big fan of this. They want to trample on their opponents, granted, but they need that extra blink mechanic to be able to kind of, again, traverse or be able to dodge out the AoEs that BRU will definitely be throwing out. And not really having the flicker really negates a lot of the abilities for them to kind of micro around all of that damage output that can be dished out by BRU.
This is the bot in fight with Poca. He just walks in front. And he eventually, because he doesn't have the flicker. And this is the, if I'm not wrong, this is the final fight.
Close to that final fight already. That was already when before the mid-tier 3 got knocked down. Poca here, he had a good idea to try to just kind of dive into the fight and allow Y-Force to kind of get that free hit, so to speak. But this is what I'm talking about. The disengage for BRU because of that Krizix is so incredibly strong that they're able to kind of just, again, play around the damage zones of EVOs, so to speak. And it kind of goes to show, you know?
But that sums up game 1. You see, you have the Krizix on the side of BRU, but in the next game, we won't be seeing Krizix on the side of BRU. Will they ban it, or will they open it up for EVOs to pick it up? We don't know.
Poca doesn't seem to be the guy who actually excels in supports that need that aren't really tanks. Like, I've always seen him play Ormar, more so the Baldoom. That's why we saw a couple of bans here and there of that Baldoom. So that might be also something that EVOs might need to adjust with, that even if Krizix is left open, they might not take it. But BRU aren't going to be letting that happen. They won't want to let it slide. They're still afraid of how strong Krizix can be. And here we are, game number 2. After such a quick game 1, what can EVOs do to adjust to BRU? That's the thing.
What they could adjust? First off, they probably should pick up a range 80.
Red team's turn to pick.
Or maybe an Elsu.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
They can definitely use the Elsu to kind of outmatch and outrange BRU. That's not a bad idea. But now, checking at this draft here, we do see the Yena. That's going to be a very strong pick rather for Overfly. Very strong duelist, can try to outmatch the Omen at the very start. But once Omen kind of starts to ramp up a little bit, that's when he starts to become really, really scary. Yena should be fine, at least for the very start. And, of course, if they're able to supplement this with a jungler such as maybe a Krignac, that's when it starts to kind of shows it's like, it's real potential. So we'll see. Weirao is going to be forcing to get that Krignac already. Take it away from first one. And Weirao has shown how efficient he is already with that particular hero.
If I'm not wrong, Vera didn't really pick up a Krignac in the group stages.
I'm not sure. I think he did. Or was it just the Murad?
I remember he picked up Zephyrus, he picked up Murad. Or maybe he did. But Vera, he is... I could consider him like a really good jungler. And now with a Krignac Omen combination, looking really hopeful for now.
Yeah, again, a good start of like picks here for Evos. But once again, we did see yesterday IGP Gaming, was it? No, Team Flash, I believe, kind of spread out their picks where they could have actually gotten a really strong jungler, but decided to, or a really strong ADC, but they actually brought out the Brunhilde, they brought out the Kafeni, and that's what goes to show that these other teams really put in the time to try to use these quote-unquote alternate ADCs or alternate heroes to make sure that their pools don't get affected as much as the game progresses. But of course, right off the bat, these teams will immediately utilize as much as possible, and there you have it. There's the Elsu ban out already by BRU. No chance for Evos to take that.
Elsu has been showing out really good performances, especially on hands. Like, he picked up Elsu 3 times during the group stages. So probably Buriram, they do not want this long-range sniper. You see how they targeted the Tianas and also the Elsu.
Now, as for the right here, right now picks of Evos, they're looking again for another dive composition here. But the thing with that is that if they're going to put their strategy in always going for the dives, they need, again, what happened from game 1, they need a little bit of disengage, or they need to be able to execute their opponents quickly. Now, against this composition, looking at the bans as well, it's kind of make it so that I feel like BRU have a chance to counter this with just one strong pick that could actually be the Lombard, that could actually be the Annette. But Evo's already going to steal that, or maybe try to counter. They want to steal the Annette. There you go. They're going to diminish the possibility for BRU to stop these divers from going heavy onto BRU.
Marja being hovered over by the Foxen.
Marja was used by the Foxen, I think, once or twice during the group stage. And what this kind of did is that they could have actually left the Foxen to play with himself. Wait, that sounds super wrong. To play by himself in the bottom lane? Alright, I'm sorry about that. But it just means that Marja is a pick that you want to get if you want your ADC to survive without the support. Or even with the support, the survivability rate for Marja is really, really strong, especially when she can turn herself into a phantom with that ultimate of hers.
Definitely, especially you're playing against a Omen, a Krignak, a Liliana, all these really mobile heroes. You can see the Evos on the side, they have picked up super mobility heroes, and Marja, Zenale, Finnick, all this will be really great to play against them. Like Marja, as you said, a phantom, untouchable phantom. He can just slither away, open the ultimate.
Now, what's going to be the ADC here for Evos? I mean, there's still a lot. They only banned Elsu and the Tianas.
They still have like Richter.
True. Could be also the Violet if they wanted to. They can outrange their opponent. But okay, there you go. There's the Richter. Actually, never would have expected a Richter to be played in the ADC lane. I thought maybe something else, but this is the first time I believe I will be seeing this used by Evos in this entire tournament.
They did play Richter did play Hans did play Richter in the group stage, but I forgot against which.
And you see, this is like because they only used it like once or twice. I can never really remember because Hans always, like you said, is the man with the Elsu. Yeah. Whenever I see his face, it kind of like it kind of transforms a little bit into Elsu. So maybe that's why I don't remember the Richter. So, but the thing is, Richter is really good in kind of sticking to his opponents. His ability to have that movement speed, have that ability to stick to his target will make it so that he can really duel against this Marja. And of course, because he has a lot of those mobility tools, he's going to be able to also dodge the Dark Blade, the Dark Phantom, I can't remember, the S1 of the Marja. So that's going to help him kind of, traverse around her AoE. This would be, again, another rundown composition for Evos here. The second try, the second version in Game 2. We'll just have to see because it's going to be very difficult when there's a Diao-chan, when there's a Zenyo blocking your path by BRU.
If BRU, they probably know that Evos is still trying to execute that same kind of playstyle. They might once again punish them the same way as they did in Game 1. They have the Fennec.
They're going to be able to use that to, again, kind of, it's a really strong pick if you want to have a lot more zoning with your teammates. And again, for goodness sake, somebody stop BRU from always getting these zone characters. Again, it's just me kind of just saying that, well, BRU, you really want to choke out everything from your opponent in terms of that macro. And here we are again, another another macro-centric composition for BRU.
Look, but if you look at the jungle, it's a Cricknet versus Fennec. Both really has high bursts. They still can really fast. They clear the jungle in really fast. So we're probably looking forward to a really quick gank in this game.
Zenial is already there, kind of spotting out where Weirall will actually start his initiate. Hans is in a really tight spot. That slow from the blade coming out from Defoxen is so difficultly... if you get hit by it, that's when you kind of like, oh crap, I'm not going to be able to run away from this one. And of course,
they're going into the mid lane. Fall almost got caught, but they're changing their targets to poke up.
Yeah.
Probably nothing much is gonna happen here since it's still really early.
Yeah, there's no level 2 for Cylindles there, so he didn't have the knock-up just yet. He only had the shield pop. So, I mean, it's not gonna net you any kills at all, but you can really see them kind of force out their opponents. And BRU playing a different type of playstyle here. You're really seeing them keep their eyes onto Weirall because they're respecting that level 4 gank power.
Look at the mid lane, 2v2. It's just a matter of who gets caught first at this point. Do you think so?
I'm assuming so. I'm assuming so.
But Cricknet is slowly making his way to the mid side.
It's already level 4. He gave me just firefight. Look at this.
Flying in.
Y-Force wants to kind of go for it, but he saw that first one was already there. So it's going to be a 2v2 in the top lane, but he's going to get pushed back because, again, there's that zoning tool. The Bola that the Fennec does throw out. Here they have to get something, though.
Look at the rotation coming in from both teams. Oh, first blood will be on to Fall, the second one.
Didn't even have his level 4 out just yet, and now Weirall getting caught out, giving the double buff onto somebody else. That is disastrous here for the side of EVOs. What's only probably the good thing for them is that Richter's going to be in the bottom lane, kind of getting a little bit of farm, but that's about it. Everything else going to the hands of BRU.
Not one thing about Cricknet so far, as I know, that it's either you do really well or you fail really miserably. Look at Hans chasing onto Islinders. Sorry, I still have problem pronouncing that, but it's still the fight's still ongoing. Look at Marja opening her ultimate, chasing onto Hans, but Hans managed to flicker over the wall. This is the importance of flicker.
Yeah, that's the ability to just keep yourself alive, but of course this is going to deny a good chunk of this wave. Nobody's going to be able to kind of clear this up, and this is a little bit pushed back by the tower. This is a little bit of inefficient gold farming from EVOs, because again, you know, in AOV you have yourself the ability to get gold even though you don't get the last hit on the minions, and since EVOs, or rather Hans, missed an entire wave, that's going to mean that he's going to be a level behind Defoxen, and he's going to be a good chunk of gold down from Defoxen. He actually gets it back with that one. Still, could have been more.
Yeah, Hans a little bit back, but he'll eventually manage to farm up if he stays alone. But look at the fight, he's fighting alone. Defoxen 1v1, but Marja just ultimates away. This is how annoying Marja is with the ultimate.
Yeah, you can just basically run away from that fight, activate your speed boost as well, and then you're kind of like a bullet, you know, an untouchable bullet. You just pass through opponents, deal a good chunk of damage. There's 3 members onto the top lane. Oh no, Y-Force got caught in the middle. Oh no, that's not good. One more auto attack, and he does get knocked down. Even though he's an Omen, it's going to be pretty bad to kind of follow up. But can they really deny him? There is that ultimate from the Zenial. I will save you from up above. He says it. It's a Lindels keeping the Foxen alive, even through how EVOs wanted to start that gank.
EVOs, they probably thought they could kind of like trade in the top with the bottom, but the Angelic Splendor coming in from the Zenial managed to save that teammate. Now, EVOs just lost both top side and the bot side fight.
Yeah, and again, the thing about that is Marja isn't really your typical easy to burst down mage, right? She's very fight centric, and it just goes to show with her ability to get HP and of course stay invulnerable at certain times, and not being able to burst her down and getting punished is obviously the worst case scenario for you. And because of that, now EVOs are kind of just trying to scramble, trying to figure out what they can really get in terms of fights. They haven't really made this... Ooh, Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
He's gonna get stunned right there.
Oh.
Another explosion. Diao-chan ultimate. One more auto attack. Does get saved by the Reaper's Blessing. And OMG, that was so close for Rira. But he still does get denied. One more auto attack. And first one. Well, he's gonna be the first one to get the dip onto hands there. Maybe even the bottom tier one too.
Is Lindis a little bit trouble? Did he manage to escape? Yeah, Elysian managed to escape. Now BRU do not waste any time. Clear down the bottom lane. Make that mini wave push through. Distract Evos. So now look at how, with Evos being distracted at the bot side, they will slowly rotate to the mid side, take down that mid tier 1 tower.
Easy mid tier 1 tower there. You can already see what VRU want to kind of solidify in terms of their play here, is that every single one of their members except for first one is built for team fight. And then if they find an opening, they'll just use that Fennec to push the wave or push the tower ever so quickly. And because of it, it has already resulted in 3 towers, which is around 6 minutes, is pretty insane.
Pretty insane. Like now they're slowly closing in as a 5-team in the mid lane, 5-member team in the mid lane. Probably a team fight might start, a team fight might not start. Look at how they're slowly camping in. That zoning coming in from the Foxen.
It's going to be very difficult. Look at how first one just kind of traverses around to the side there, hitting the tower and then forcing Evos to kind of just try to defend this tower. One more hit and Poka should go down. Wira just dive right in. But, I mean, this Kreknak hasn't done the damage that he's supposed to. Overfly comes in from the side, forces him to go over the wall. They'll be able to clear out this way before much damage will be done. But you can see the control of BRU around this map is already pretty adamant.
Evos is trying the best to defend that tower. Now, BRU since they can't really get to the tower, they just go back to farming objective. But look at Overfly chasing on the B-Rock.
Oh no! He predicted where he's gonna go. That was so good.
One thing about Yena is that when she's stuck to you, and she lands a combo well, she's stuck to you forever.
It's like a clingy boyfriend or a girlfriend, you know. Once you're already there, they're never gonna let go. So prepare to be Yena. That's what we're gonna call it.
Now Darkslayer at the 7 minutes, similar to game 1. BRU not wasting any second on clearing any objectives at all.
BRU have made their names known throughout the AIC. Somebody to be feared with, somebody to be respected. This is the Thai representatives, and now they're looking to kind of close out game number 2 here. BRU, or rather Evos, do they really have a chance to come back into this one? Because again, I don't feel like they have much damage anymore, especially when Rira started to kind of diminish at the very start when he couldn't get those kills.
Like you say, like they do not have any damage output. Hence, he can't even handle. He can't initiate anymore, so it doesn't look really good at this point. He got picked off at bot lane. Now they're down to 1 member. Down left, the 4 members in the mid lane to protect the tower. Top lane's pushing in. That will be the tier 3 tower being taken down. Slowly. Chunky.
Oh, it's so chunky. Man, that Drake is just dealing so much damage. And at 8 minutes, if you're able to do something like this with around a 7,000 gold lead, you know that you almost have everything in your pockets. In terms of advantage, you have all the necessary tools to be able... And look at the Fox, and he doesn't even care anymore that he's behind enemy territory. He's going to be in the middle of the fight, activate that ultimate, and then be able to do the Kobe Bryant, the Mamba out. Should be fine out, but they do shut down the Fox, and it could be a turnaround for BRU. Overfly into the front line. Senna does get the damage done. Y-Force will be able to kind of at least destroy Nunu, but at the end of the day, that is a bottom tier 3, a mid tier 3 knocked out. Basically, Nexus again has been exposed before that 10-minute mark.
There will be 2 tier 3 towers gone. Evil's base is really exposed at this point, but speaking about that team fight just now, I like how you say the Foxin, he doesn't care. He just goes into the team base, walks around there, opens his ultimate, and then I like how Zenio Angelic Splendor. So
it just kind of denies a lot of the initiates of Evos. They do find first one finally, but again, Zenio just denies it. What a knockup! Zenio is a true healer here. He is the one with that angelic splendor, really giving a terminology to Angel's blessing. Now Overfly comes in from the side, having that dual wield in her hands, might be able to kind of shut down Evos here. Ay, 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 they're going to have to back away, but they have to defend this top tier 3. They have to clear out the waves. That Nexus is already exposed, and here comes BRU. They're not stopping at all. Fall already has to back away, taking such a chunk of damage from the Foxen's Marja.
Now the Nexus, the core is wide open. They're not going for the core. They're just going for the kills.
Yeah, they're going to be able to go for the kills. This Nexus is actually helping the case of BRU. They're pushing them back for now. Y-Force is right there. Here's another one from Salendos, but I don't think this time he's going to be able to save his comrade. Get on out of here. Defense, I would say half and half successful for Evos. They did take the top tier 3, but their Nexus is still standing.
Probably, I'm not sure what happened, but Buriram, they were aiming for kills, but instead of aiming for the core. Like you see here, how Overfly, Polka, they were these aiming on the Polka, but they have all the chances to actually just hit the core.
That's true. Maybe they were kind of respectful, you know, that they needed to shut down everybody from Evos first because they were afraid of the damage output from Evos. Even though it's kind of like a really big margin of gold here, there's still something you have to kind of respect there. Isalendos is behind enemy territory, gets spotted out, and just goes over the wall.
They're going for the Abyssal Dragon, but I'm not sure how much it will help them at this point because you see, we're having to go straight for the Dark Slayer instead.
There could have been maybe Evos to contest that, but because they weren't able to push out their waves fast enough at the very start, Evos couldn't really contest that Dark Slayer and then be comfortable with every super minions kind of just, you know, collapsing in to their Nexus. You really have to respect that, and well, now there is, I don't know, it feels like there's not much of a, not even a slim chance for Evos to defend this. BRU are just kind of starting to create waves on all the lanes, and then they're gonna make their move.
Yeah, their base is wide open. That getting engaged by BRU, that will be hands taken down.
They're gonna go for it straight up here. Polka's gonna get caught out, alright, has the flicker over his opponents, does dodge out a couple of the skill shots here and there, had to activate her ultimate, push them back, but this should be it. They're actually doing so much damage onto Marja, but again, that Phantom phase for her able to keep her alive. Weird though does get another kill on the first one, but at the end of the day, that is still going to be the Nexus down. They couldn't really stave off the pressure of BRU, and this is game 2 already into the hands of the tie.
Evo still tries, like you say, Evo tries to go for that pick off team comp, but Buriram once again shut them down.
I mean, at every turn, you can always just see BRU having answers from how they're gonna try to go for team fights, how they're gonna go for objectives. They just draft their composition incredibly well. And Evos, even though Evos do have a really nice set of picks themselves, the thing that I think like hinders them the most is that these particular picks from them that should be performing aren't really, because it's either countered by BRU or Evos might be overreaching in certain aspects of the game wherein they're not supposed to dive in, but they do. So I mean, it seems like it's backfiring a little bit for Evos here. And even though, you know, it doesn't seem too well for them, they still have 2 more games to fight before the series is over. That could be the chance for them to come back, but we'll just have to figure out what happens later on.
But definitely that star, I would say the star player in the previous set. Here it says it's Yena, but to me I felt like it's the Zenil.
I'll agree to that because the Zenial was really good in protecting, but in terms of getting those 1v1s, 1v2s, definitely has to be for Overfly. But yeah, the Zenial was a key factor in keeping the Foxen first one alive for as much as possible. So, you know, you really have to kind of watch out. Again, supports are one of the key. Yeah, are you a support main? Is that where you're kind of like?
I'm not. Nah. Are you?
I play anything. Yeah, whatever floats my boat. Because, you know, if you play MOBAs for the most part, if you try to just one trick or one role, you won't be able to enjoy every single game that you play. So you have to kind of be ready, and like if you're gonna be playing jungle, you should have like Kriknak and Murad in your roster. If you're gonna play mid, you should have let's say like Ignis, Ilyana. Yeah, so you have to have like multiple picks and at the same time. If you're not gonna play pro, it doesn't really matter. Anyways, that's gonna be a break for us since we did finish 2 games already. I have to say those were some really dang quick games though. Again, I didn't expect BRU to be this aggressive, or again, the way that they play, choke out their opponent's resources. It's a very scary thought, and it seems like, that's just how it happens. Anyways, guys, we're going to leave you with the highlights here, and when we get back, it's going to be Game 3, Game 4, so don't go anywhere. AIC Arena Valor International Championship 2019 quarterfinals match between Buriram United Esports and Evo Esports will still continue, so don't go anywhere. Don't touch your phones, don't touch your PCs. We'll be right back.
2 g b Fiber เน็ตบ้าน 1,000 เมกมาพร้อม2 g b Fiber Router เร็วแรงทั่วบ้านเพียง 799 บาท พร้อมดูฟรี True Premier League กว่า 100 แมตช์ตลอดฤดูกาลจัดเต็มกับความสุขที่ได้มากกว่า สมัครวันนี้คลิก
Okay, before we intro, I'm just gonna try to compute how much is like 799 Thai baht in like Filipino pesos, so I can see how unfair the. Oh wow, you get yourself. All right, so for 799 baht in the Philippines, you get like 1/3 of what they're offering in terms of their speed. Thai internet is cheaper and it's actually way better. Oh my god. Anyways, we're back here at the Arena of Valor International Championship 2019 presented by Tencent Games, Garena, CJENM, OGN, True Online, and True Icon Hall. My name is Asura, and joining with me now is Yumiko, or how do you pronounce it? Yumiko? Yumiko?
Yumiko.
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 Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, and what do you think? It's I was about to say what do you think, man, because I've been so used to having Zero with me.
What I think?
What do you think, woman, about the game? Well, about game 1 and game 2?
Quick pace.
Mm-hmm.
Unexpected for me.
Like, okay, unexpected how? Are you thinking that EVOS' composition would have worked out well for them? Or do you think that they're forcing too much on trying to go for non-range ADCs?
Yeah, they're going too much on non-range ADC, and clearly you can see on the side of BRU, they have like range heroes that can outpoke you. I'm not sure why they picked out range melee.
Yeah, right? So it's a little bit iffy what's happened from the first game to the second game. Maybe, you know, it's more of like them kind of just thinking that we need to warm up a little bit here. But the problem, again, with the best of 7 series here in the playoffs is that if you try to warm up game 1, game 2 in drafts where you can reset the heroes, it's fine. You can just kind of like figure out what the opponent is doing. But now there's kind of an extra layer that you can't really reset anymore. It's global bans.
It's global ban. It's over. Once you use it, no more for you.
Yeah, exactly. So they've used already some really high-profile heroes such as the Omen, the Kriknak, the Liliana. Exactly. All of these big heroes already all off the table for EVOs. And that never is really what you want. You really want to use those heroes and hopefully get the wins, because if not, then you're going to have a tougher time going into the next games.
But speaking about global ban pick, since you already said they used up like melee heroes for their AD, they still have wider chance to pick up the range heroes.
That's true. But the thing with that is they're not going to be, well, I don't know, it might not have good synergy with the other picks that EVOS might have, but definitely something to kind of look out for, you know, having those really strong ADCs to kind of keep the games rolling for EVOS is definitely going to be something for them to use. But I think aside from us knowing that, BRU knows that, so they can just ban it out if they wanted to.
Ban it out. One thing we're still waiting to see is like also the Zenial from the side of EVOS, because they haven't picked it up. They still can't pick it up for themselves. But for BRU, they can't pick up the Zenial anymore.
Yeah.
They can't pick up that Chameleon anymore. They already took out a lot of strong heroes, so I'm still looking forward in game 3 how much more strong heroes they're gonna play around with.
I get that. There's still a lot of options up for BRU. They haven't really expended everything. They even used a Marja for on game 2, for goodness sake. So that means that, you know, they also still have a good chunk of picks for them in terms of the ADC. And I feel like, or now, we're gonna be starting off for game 3's drafting phase. We do see the coach.
Game phase on.
Game phase on indeed. What's going to be the prime pick here? So, I believe they've all used Omen at the same time. BRU's Overfly has also activated with the Yena. So, and even the Kilgroth, I believe, for EVOs. So Kilgroth might be removed from the table. Florentino should be something that should pop out. That's something, because nobody has actually used him because he was always banned out. And look at the bans that they're doing right now. Still no Florentino. 3rd and 4th might have it, but I think that they might ban something else. Maybe.
Yena.
Yena. Yeah, that's gonna give Y-Force the ability to get his Florentino
Oh.
finally.
Yeah, Florentino is definitely a priority pick for themselves. But for the side of BRU, Hayate will be being hovered over for the first choice.
Yeah, all these super strong top teams in our region, in this entirety of AIC, excel, making Hayate even more of a stronger pick. And check that out, they're taking away the Baldoom at the very start. If Evos tries to go again for a heavy dive comp, for a heavy, go into your face centric type of composition, Baldoom is one of the perfect heroes to kind of counter that. You have yourself the prison to just kind of lock them in, and that does really do give you an edge in the team fights, especially if you know how to use it.
Evos picking up the also for hands. It's being let through. Finally, they're gonna pick up a range 80 laner for themselves.
Maybe BRU, knowing this, actually do also want the Baldoom, because Elsu's not the most mobile. Yes, he does have maybe a single dash and possibly a flicker, but when those are on cooldown, you basically just have to try to run, but Baldoom just kind of denies that on you, right? Which, that's going to be very difficult to kind of deal with. Now, Evos, they do have Zenya already here to keep this Elsu alive in the hands of Hands. But of course, something to also watch out for is first one, getting that Krignac.
So far, I've seen like how first one, he's been playing Krignac pretty well in the group stages. In the first, if not wrong, either day 1 or day 2, their first match in the group stage. So first one picked up Krignac twice.
Yeah.
And they won that match 2-0. So now picking up Krignac for themselves probably might give them an advantage. See how first one play around it.
Look at how many jungle bans BRU had done on that second rotation. This is really gonna force Weird to go with something he's probably not that comfortable with. I believe Fennec is still up here for Evo's Esports. They can definitely use as a double ADC. Would kind of play around that. Okay, we haven't really used any range 80 carries from Game 1 and Game 2. Maybe it's time to kind of use all of that all here in Game 3. Use this to our advantage. Get that poke into the lane. Get that push into the wave. And it seems like Evos have shifted up from being all up into your face, now more of a kind of spread out composition.
Now with the final pick being picked up is the Richter for BRU. Now both sides has already picked up their full team composition, with Florentino, Fennec, Ignis, Elsu, Zenia on the side of Evos, Richter, Krignac, Raz, Hayate, and Baldum on the side of BRU.
So how do you think like this matchup will unfold? Like if we say like, they go for a team fight, they have level 4s, what do you think is in your head gonna be the better outcome? Is it Evos' composition? Will they have better luck with a double ADC, or it's this lineup that BRU have made for themselves with that Baldoom?
Baldum, okay, first of all, they picked up a really strong frontliner. It's a support. Baldum, if you play Baldum really well, he can actually zone out a lot of team fights. And especially when early game, how Baldum, you can play Baldum really aggressively, walk into the enemy jungle, scout out what your enemy is doing. This is the strength of Baldum, but not only that, they have the Hayate. They're using the Hayate as the AD.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're gonna see like a swap. BRU is going for that melee ADC, while Evos is going for that range AD. I'm pretty excited to see how they're gonna execute it out.
But okay, if I ask you, which composition do you like better?
Which composition do I like better? I'll still like BRU's, because of how they have like strong heroes like the Krignac, the Baldum. Baldum can really just go to the back, flip someone, while Hayate can just go in, Kunai Blades, and Krignac. You farm up, you go for the ganks, that power spikes.
Yeah. Speaking of Kunai Blitz, I don't think there's much disables for Evos to actually stop that ultimate of Defoxen. That's the thing. So if he actually finds a good entry point with that specific ultimate, I mean, that's a really strong starter or a really strong, how do you say this, kind of deleting tool for BRU to use here.
Also, they all started at the mid lane, slowly transitioning to the bot lane with Zenil. Man, they're leaving the mid lane is empty. Ras even goes over to the jungle to help out the Bowdom.
This is just some quick rotations. They're really using the power right now of BRU's comp to immediately get this. And this is going to starve out the Fennec, which is not where you really want to happen. Look at that. They're going to be able to even join their lanes while not losing any CS at all. Perfect timing for BRU here. Fall onto a really iffy angle there. He did have at least Polka right onto the bottom side to kind of help him a little bit. But Weera has already lost 2 of his camps.
He already lost 2 camps, which is not looking good because if you give it over to Crickneck get the power, he get the level 4, he can gank your lanes really fast and a snowball might happen. Like, look at that, level 4 going in to Wiser. That will be first blood.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I can't really remember who told me this, but in a 1 versus 1, Richter beats out Florentino. So that means that you saw how Y-Force was just playing very far behind, and that means that he was also kind of like, if he tries to go for any last hits on those minions, he will get harassed a little bit by Summer's Florentino. It's actually not going to be Overfly who plays right now for BRU. It's going to be Summer now with the Richter. But anyways, that's not really the point. The point is, he's already pinned him down, and like you said, because they allowed the first one, the Crickneck, to get level 4 earlier than Weera, you saw how quick they were in just bursting down that Florentino, and that never really helps the case when you want this 1v1 duelist to, really, really pop off.
Crickneck is really level 5. He's practically a little bit dangerous. Now you would want to really look out for the Crickneck. Meanwhile, while Fennec is still struggling to farm up his jungles. But level 2, now it's 2 minutes. The episode dragon is up. Crickneck and Bowdom is trying to get this. Will EVOS try to contest this?
I don't think they can really, unless Polka just dives right in and hopes that he gets it, but he'll definitely net a kill for BRU there. It's going to be BRU to get that dragon. Now, I think the reason why we're seeing here more of BRU kind of get the win is that Polka hasn't really gone to the top side of the map at all. He's just kind of like hold hands with the LC because they want to keep him alive for as much long as possible. Now, first one could actually be in a really tight spot. He does actually get away from this one. Y-Force is going to be able to dive right in. They do get this Alindos, which is beautifully executed here from EVOS, but now the Richter joins in onto the fight. Still going to be a double kill for Y-Force. And there you have it. From what it looks a bit a bad situation for the solo laner, this DS laner has gone onto the upper side, the better side, and Summer might actually be in a tough spot here.
Oh, Weera, but backup is here. Weera is backing off. A really good rotation coming in from the Florentino. He saw a team fight. He walked down, picked up all of them. They know they're low. He has the potential to dive tower, but look at the current live stream. There's a team fight right there. That will be Bowdom taken down.
This is looking really, really nice right now for EVOS. Even though the start for BRU was, as you can see, really adamant there, EVOS did not stop the pressure and they punished the positioning of BRU. Aside from that, because they still had that double ADC, if Weera can free hit, he can break towers real easy, which is allowing EVOS to kind of match up a little bit here against BRU.
So you can see that how EVOS, they switch up a little bit in how they want to play. Previously, they want to go for that, like you say, they want to go for that engaging team kind of play style, but now they're going for the double ADC. They want to focus probably more on the split pushing side, the tower taking side. It's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, as long as EVOS can keep that condition of their mob, even though if they lose a couple of fights here and there, they can really make it work. Look at that snipe from Elsa. Defoxen is already down to like 20% HP. Who did they actually get and disable? It's actually Polka, not the best target, not the easiest to kind of follow up. They kind of burst down, so they have to respect that a little bit. Salindus was on the side there. He thought he was going to get knocked out. Nunu activating his uppercut. Would have wanted to dove right into the face of Hans, but keeping his ultimate alive or active, just so that he can't really get caught easy. Salinas will be into the front line. Here goes the Fox, and if they don't actually dive right into the tower, maybe that could be a chance for the Kunai Blitz, but they get it super quickly because of that Elsu also helping out in destroying objectives.
Tier 1 top tower down, Tier 1 bot tower down. Things are going in the favor of EVOS. Now they have rotated to the mid side. Teamfight's gonna start. Fall bit getting pushed out of position. That will be him getting killed off.
Yeah, killed off indeed. He didn't even know what hit him there. They gotta just rushed it onto him from like, you know, bing bang boom. You get yourself some coordinated crowd controls, the CCC, and that just is the death of you. Now Polka's gonna get caught out here, but he does have that dodge over the wall to kind of keep himself alive. But with all of that though, that's still only one pickoff for BRU. That means that EVOS is still on the upper hand, and let's see how that actually happened.
Lulu went in uppercut, get flicked over. Ooh,
He got carried by the ult of Nunu there, and then, like you said, he got flipped up by Isalindos. What a starter here for BRU.
Now EVOS, they have slowly 3-man rotated down to the bot side. Summer try to defend this. Managed to push them off, but Polka will be still hiding around in that bush, looking around. He will be going away.
First one's gonna be rotating around. He might want to find something easier to kind of knock out here. Are they gonna break this tower already? Fortino, I don't think he's had enough time to maybe push this back. But as first one did back away, they have to respect that. One more hit, that could have been it. Oh, that's so close to break that top tier 1 though.
Oh,
so
first
close.
one, HP getting shredded off, but there will be some kind of like a disengagement right there.
Boom!
Ooh,
Get that snipe in. Yeah, just, you know, I mean, it's a Lindel, so he could absorb that. Summer, though, is going to be the 1v1. Had to flicker away, but here comes Hans to kind of spoil his day. Is this going to be a kill? Wow, he actually escapes from all of that, and top tier 1 will still be alive. One more hit, come on, do it, the Fox, and he actually gets
that
it.
heal coming in from Polka, but Wyver, he's still surviving, but not any more longer. Polka will be fighting 1v3. He will try to aim for first one, but no, he doesn't manage to get any kill.
Yeah, that's going to be not the shield popping off and exploding at first one there. Fall, though, has to flicker over the wall. Nunu is hot on his tracks with that chase. Beautifully done to push back. Fall into the embracing hands of BRU. Yes, please. We're going to take it. And now they can even break at this top tier 2 if they wanted to. Weireyes onto the side. Maybe he can take down Nunu. One more auto attack. That's going to be it. He forces them back right off. And BRU get kind of contested as they try to get that objective.
BRU pulling the game back to the equal stage right now. That team fight was really good at the top side.
I don't know who actually got the better of that. I think the better of it would have probably been BRU because they did good chunk of damage on that tower aside from actually catching a really out of position fall. So I think at the end it does work in favor for BRU, but only slightly because of what Weeraw did to save that tower and to get that kill onto Nunu.
And look at how Summer is camping there, waiting for the opportunity to strike through. But Islanders will try to scout a little bit, manage to find Weeraw in a bit, but at the top side, BRU Summer fighting against Polka, but both battle of the tanks. It's 8 minutes now. Will they try and take the Dark Slayer, or will they try to fight in the mid lane?
Probably try to fight in the mid lane first, break this mid tier 1 so that they have a little bit more control around the jungle side of EVOS. That's when the Dark Slayer becomes a much easier objective to kind of take when you force your opponent to, you know, go back further into their own base because they don't have the safety of their tier 1 tower anymore.
Look at that snipe coming in from Hans.
Yeah, he's pretty painful already.
Yeah. You just have to land your shots right. Now, they are still partying in the mid lane, trying to see who gets whose tower first, but the Cylinder is gonna get caught right there. Iviva's just diving into the tower, but he doesn't care. Oh.
Yeah, there's gonna be the Jug Splinter coming out from Polka, dodging, no riding, diving right into the mid tier 2, and Evos are pushing them back. Nobody is here to kind of defend it. Richter from Summer, though, is onto the side, but can he really do it? He's diving right in. There's still the ultimate from the Fox, and this could be pretty big, but Summer will get taken away. He will provide his life for that mid tier 3, and while all that was happening, Damn you, Kriknak. He actually goes in and breaks 2 towers with that tier 3. Now the Foxen is going to be here. 7 seconds onto Nunu. Just give it right back up, but that Nexus is already exploded. They have to clear the wave right now, or else be afraid of EVO's finishing this game straight off. The Foxen just goes in. He gets denied one more auto attack. Could be it. Oh my goodness, they can't take him. They can't take him. The Foxen still survives. There's the chase down. Nuno is hot on his tracks. One more smack. It's going to be Isalindos right there in the front. Does he get the knockdown? Oh, he gets locked in onto Weera. You're going to be a dead man. He comes right off. Isalindos should actually be knocked out here. He does get the knock in. Nuno's respecting him for now. First one though, they make a mistake. They didn't get the shutdown onto fall onto Weera. And this is BRU. I don't know what's happening. They're making mistakes left and right. But they still get that top tier 3 even through all of that shenanigans.
That Bowdom ultimate was kind of a great one, locking in down Weera, but there wasn't much follow-up coming in from the side of BRU.
I mean, at least they still got that top tier 3, but like, oh my god, that's why they didn't have enough damage output, because the Kriknak wasn't there to provide more poke for BRU, so to speak. But check this fight out. Yeah, the Foxen's gonna get denied there. I love how he was just kind of pushed back to stop his ultimate. But the weirdest thing about that fight, that particular fight, was that yeah, they tried to commit onto Weera, and first one was like, let's just go on to fall first, and then they didn't expect that Weera would be able to kind of 1v2 you know, Nunu as well as Isalindos there. This is awkward. Very, very awkward.
They left Weera unattended right there.
Exactly.
Now they took EVOS took down the Dark Slayer for themselves. Now BRU will try to farm out as much as they can at this point.
They're gonna push out that Drake onto the bottom lane. They're waiting onto the side here. This could be pretty big. They're clearing out just the waves for now. There's still at least like 2 tier 2 towers up for BRU, so that has to be pushed out by the Drake or by EVOS here. So the only real avenue for EVOS to finish us off is to collapse into the mid lane.
So Saba try to go in, engage, but Valor will be getting stuck in the 4-man. But oh, look at the Gandalf. Ignis coming in, bursting them. Poka didn't manage to land any strikes on anyone. They will try to disengage right here.
Yeah, BRU's damage output is really, really situational here. Can they really get into this one? First one is going to be over the wall, but he gets spotted out by Weera. And with 2 down for 30 seconds, this is going to be a fatal fight for EVOS to really miss. They can actually just go in and push at this Nexus, but the thing that they're going to be pushing with is that Drake into the bottom lane. It's going to get another tier 3 here against BRU, and BRU are slowly getting crippled by EVOS as of the moment.
The BRU is down 2 member, while EVOS 5-man is just rushing into their base. This is looking good for EVOS. They're trying to go straight for the core.
There's going to be, again, another Angelic Splendor from Poka here, and they're still pretty healthy. Everybody's still pretty healthy here. That's going to be the ace, and we're going to go to Game 4 with EVOS getting themselves the first match in this best of 7. There you go. Even though first one was there to respawn, he wasn't in time to shut any of them down. And if he did shut one down, there's still 4 more to go that was hammering away at that Nexus.
Right, EVOS trying to fight back, and Game 3 means we'll be definitely seeing a Game 5.
I think I'll be seeing Game 5 here.
Look at how hopeful EVOS is.
The aggressive Indonesians. Indonesian?
Indonesian.
My Xian sounds pretty weird for some reason, but the ability of them to keep their level-headedness, the ability of them to really force these initiates, help their case. The double AIC really made it work, and the Foxen's Hayate was, I don't know, it was iffy to say the least. And what do you think was the reason why BRU, kind of didn't really perform in that game?
Yeah, the team composition mainly, it's more of, in my opinion, it's more of like a one-on-one team fight. So when it comes to like a group team fight, they sometimes aim for the wrong opponents. They aim for the wrong target. Like early on, we can see at the replay, like they should be aiming out Veros, but first one went for the wrong target. So end up they left Vero there, kill off his teammate, where that team fight actually looked quite hopeful for BRU.
I agree. I think the only one of the big reasons there why BRU really lost was that for some reason first one never really gotten to the point where Kriknak was frightening, and here it is, key player of the game. We were 10-0-5. Damn, this Fennec is looking pretty scary.
Furry little scary.
Yeah, true. I was trying to think if that was a rhyme or something, but yeah, I agree. So it seems like Game 3, Game 2, whoever had the Kriknak lost, because it was also Evos who had the Kriknak, and then We're all kind of just like messed it up a lot. So now it seems like first one was the other guy to mess up the the game there. Anyways, this is the highlights, guys, so just enjoy as we're gonna try to figure out what happened. You know, checking this out, look at just how clean the ability of Evos to re-engage is, and more so than not, Isolitos' prison with the Baldoom didn't really net them any good disables. That's also a thing.
Yeah, I didn't realize that his prison didn't really land well on the correct target.
Yeah, I think that's at the base of it. If we think about it, the composition of Evos relies not really that much in terms of ultimate, but on the other side, BRU were pretty ultimate reliant, to say the least, when you need first one's full rotation to get a kill, you need the Foxen's Kunai Blitz to really impact the team fights, and then also the same thing with Isolitos' ability to lock you down with his ultimate. Without these three key ultimates really popping off, the composition of BRU started to falter, and you can't really see that as these team fights kind of like, unravel before our eyes.
Yeah, and you can't really expect Summer to just walk in, do tons of damage, and just walk out. He too is also like a one-on-one target. He just walks in. If he gets caught in between of 4 men, it's over.
Exactly. Quick breakthrough you're talking about. Awesome production as always. They helped out immediately after that. But okay, going away from that weirdness and all that.
It's turn to pick.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Live straight into the band pick. This will be game 4.
We just made sure of everything here, guys, for you so that you have the best possible viewing experience for this AIC quarterfinals. And now, Buriram United Esports, they've used a good chunk of their supposed picks. I don't think they've had the Florentino just yet. That's why it's being banned here by Evos. But Perez is already up. As you can see, here is the last picks for Buriram's side. Now, Evos, they have used a good chunk of really strong junglers already. Lendis is still up, though, so if they can take it, why not? It can really help out their case as well.
So now, Marja will be locked in by the side of Evos together with the Lindis.
I mean, Marja can go for the 3 solo lanes, basically, DS, mid, and AD lane.
Definitely.
But what this just kind of means is that they're going to be playing, Evos is going to be playing a kind of more methodical game here. Marja, even though she's pretty aggressive, is played more as kind of like a very immobile, a very good slower, not really big on this crowd controls. Her damage output isn't insane either. So she's going to be more in the prolonged team fights. If you can play for a really long time, you're going to have a super long team fight. Marja is there to excel, but if it's just a burst down, she's not really there to, to work out. It seems like BRU are going to be use of the Violet heads. You got yourself Perez, Darcy,
Elsu.
Maybe the Elsu. I think Elsu has like a violet skin.
Violet?
Yeah.
A purple skin.
A purple skin, rather, yeah. This is going to be BRU with a good chunk of
damage.
Yeah, damage into the backline as well. That's going to be very scary here for Evos. And the thing about the Marja pick at the very start is she doesn't scream range. That's the thing. Against an Elsu, she's going to get destroyed heavily.
Now we just have to wait for what What's he gonna pick for the third one? What's your guess?
I'm gonna go for something in the mid. Maybe a Crixie.
Yeah, Crixie.
That could definitely help, as Darcy and Verez need to be in close proximity, and Crixie will be able to kind of push them all back. But it seems like they're gonna respect the openness of Hayate. He's not banned out, and they are kind of saying that we need more damage here, and Evos should be able to use that to their advantage.
And it being banned out in the second phase of the bans.
Anet is actually removed from the board here. I mean, that makes a lot of sense though. Hayate and Marja, if they try to go in with their ultimates, they will be pushed back by Anet's ult herself. Chogmar got removed here. Good lockdown onto for Evos if ever. It's also good for healing. Now, mid as well as support is still unknown for Buriram.
Mid side is still open. They still have the chance to pick up Crixie. Deltran is already picked up.
Kilgrath got removed. So maybe this seems like BRU are going to use maybe the Verez as the mid lane. That's also been picked before. Not only is she good for mid or ADC, you can use that, or even interchange it with the Elsu, depending on how you kind of want to play this out. But finally, Thane sees the spotlight. Here he is for Evos' support pick.
A Sephara. We don't really see a Sephara being picked up. We did see, but not as much.
We did see her more in the support lane though, but check this out. They've hovered over the Sephara and the Alice. Nah, it's gonna be different. Okay, I thought it was gonna be
a double
that.
support.
I mean, maybe you could put Sephara in the mid, but she won't really duel as well.
Yeah.
So here we have it. Lubu in the DS lane, Verez in the mid, Darcy in the jungle. Elsu for the ADC. And speaking of ADC, unless that is a Marja in the DS lane, maybe they're looking for their own DS lane here for Evos up against a Lubu. Or they can put Lindis on the ADC lane, get themselves a Zephys for their DS lane and put Marja in the mid. But against a Darcy, I don't know how that's gonna pan out.
Darcy is pretty strong. It's like one of the strongest mid laner up to date.
But I mean,
Superman.
If you think about it, there's still so much in terms of exchange here. The versatility of the picks of Evos is already there. They can be possibly used for any lane that they want, depending on the matchup or the lineup that they kind of go head-to-head with against BRU for Game 4. And it is the Zephys.
You said it. So it will be Lindis in the jungle. Zephys?
In the ADC lane. Gonna go up against Verez, I'm assuming. So they do really want to go head-to-head, fight-to-fight for both sides. And the carries that they have actually are going to be situated in the jungle, while Hayate, played by Fall, is going to be in the mid. No, here's the thing though. They do switch up depending on which hero it is. Sometimes the mid laner will go ADC because he just works well with the Hayate. So we might see this Hayate still go for the ADC lane. But we'll just see how it kind of just, unravels, as Game 4 is looking to be pretty damn exciting because of how the picks have gone in. I'm legitimately excited for this. I want to see how this kind of turns out.
Yeah, like how flexible they is playing around those picks. Like at first we thought Elsa was gonna go for the Abyssal Dragon lane, but somehow it got swapped to the mid lane. Then things got moved around. On the side of Evos, you can see a Zephys at the AD lane, so really looking forward to how things is gonna work out. Varus versus Zephys.
Yeah, we'll see how the lineup goes out, but I think this Zephys will actually go into the lane against the Lubu. Yeah, against the Lubu in the DS lane. Look at that intro. Here we go, guys. Let's see how it goes out. Y-Force is playing the Marja. Up against Lubu, I don't know. Like, before level 4, Marja's gonna get chased hard because Lubu has like a triple dash with his slashes.
I have no idea, but
Big damage!
Ooh, early on, just chunking off a whole lot of damage onto Evos.
They can immediately counter Weera as he tries to go in. This is a different BRU from the one we've experienced. They really are forcing the situation to try to go into the hands of out of Evos. But the thing is, BRU plays a better game when they try to control not the jungle, but the entirety of the game. And this might actually be Defoxen dying to a mistake that they're trying to kind of force themselves onto Evos, but he does survive because, of course, that is a Varese, a very extreme power duelist.
And the raid will be going over to the Dusty. This is really good. He gets the raid. He goes to his jungle. He farms out. Meanwhile, Vero, he is a little bit down due to lacking of some jungle camps. That early gang really kind of able to starve out Evos a bit.
Yeah, screwed them just a smidge, but I think that BRU also took quite a bit of damage there. Although with the double buff going into the hands of first one, this could be a definite game changer at the very start of the game. And there it is. That's what I'm talking about. It's the Zephys Lubu matchup. And you can already see that Evos, they want to keep recalling the Zephys when the Lubu goes back to base, and when he shows himself on another lane, that's when he'll be trying to kind of show himself and try to counter out the Lubu. So this Zephys was picked for Summer.
Yeah, Zephys
To counter Summer, rather.
Yeah. A smart pick coming in from the side of Evos, but look at how BRU now sticking together as a 4-squad teammate. Leaving Varus at the boss side, 4 of them putting a lot of pressure in the mid lane. Look at how they are rotating as a team, as 4.
Oh, he's overextended. Hans does not even know this is going to happen. Level 4 onto first one. He's not going to be able to escape this one, but maybe, just maybe, be able to use the brush, be able to use that death from above to keep himself alive. And look at this tri-brush setup here. 4 Evos gets pulled in by Defoxen. This could be bad. Ugh.
Polka.
Dives right in. Is it another snipe for Nunu?
Not enough damage, yes, as it's still early game. He's at level 3. He still needs to slowly farm up his item, but Hans almost got caught there.
Hans is going to back away again and then try to find where the Lubu is. Look at that, he's recalling. This is a rotation-heavy game from both of these teams.
Very, very heavy rotational game. You can see how they're going up to the top side as a 4-member, then suddenly they are at the mid side. This is actually forcing Evos to move around more aggressively. They have to catch up with the pace.
They are doing that pretty damn well. Weera did take quite a bit of damage there. At least what's a good thing about here for Hans is that even though he's trying to chase Lubu down, he doesn't really lose that much in terms of the farm, just because of the fact that we do have shared gold plus shared XP in AOV. So even though he tries to chase down Lubu to the ends of the earth, as long as he has a friend to kind of leech off of when they're trying to go for a lane, he shouldn't be too far behind and maybe even have an advantage against this Lubu.
Summer enhanced a little bit of poking fight right there. But the main thing now at top side, they are 3 men trying to take down that tier 1 tower. And that tower a little bit more, okay, will be taken down, but Evos in exchange, they would take away the Abyssal Dragon.
At the end of the day, Abyssal Dragon isn't really, at least for me, the biggest objective that you want to take in terms of gold. Probably you want to get more towers so you can just control the jungle, but of course it's a nice way to kind of counteract that that tower being lost. Still here though, it's going to be a big fight as Nunu gets caught out. Good timing though, activating that Reaper's Blessing to kind of keep himself alive. It's not going to keep himself... Oh, no, he didn't actually have the Reaper's Blessing. I think that was just the visibility of the... Sorry, of the Elsu. Still gets caught out there, though.
Evos putting the attention into the jungle of BRU. They're trying to steal off as much resources as they can, but look at the mid lane. They almost took down Islinders, but in fact, Hans will be taken down. It's a...
Yeah, it's a very difficult kind of trade up here for Evos, but they are matching up and they're actually getting quite a bit of an advantage against BRU in terms of the overall gold. They're able to get the bigger objectives that they need, And more so than not, you can already see that fall with this Hayate is really farmed up already. He's 2.6k to the 2.3 of Nunu here, and that's a pretty big helping matter if you think about it. And the more this game progresses, the more that fall will be more potent in the game.
BRUs will try to take down this mid lane tier 1 tower. It's falls a little bit HP left. Also will try to snipe out, zone them away, but Hands try to fall into the middle of 4 men of BRU. Will he get taken down? Yes, the snipe coming from Elsa will connect. Oh, that will be another snipe coming onto Wero. They are continuing on the fight, but Polka pushed down Nunu. But is it enough though? They will try to continue onto Polka. The snipe didn't manage to connect through. That will be 2 men being picked up on EVOS.
Excellent for EVOS to kind of separate the snipes of the Foxen, or rather of Nunu, as much as possible, because you saw that Fall was able to get sniped there, but then Polka pushes him back out so that he can deny the snipe. And aside from that, the ability of BRU to also, in their own side, bait out his Lindels, get a little bit of shield, and then Wera, or rather Hans, with his Zephys, could not find the final blow. That made it work incredibly well for BRU.
Oh. Back to the mid lane, they are trying to get more, pushing in the minions, while their main objective now is to take the Episode Dragon. But in the mid side, it will be Lubu left alone to defend against the Tain and the Marja. Episode Dragon, this will be the first Episode Dragon going over to BRU.
Now, also DS is, Darkslayer is risen into the battlefield. There's a 3, make that almost 4 members of EVOS already here onto the top lane. They won't be able to stop EVOS from getting this bottom tier or top tier 1, but while all of that shenanigans was happening, there's a kind of a shutdown here, or a trade-off for the Elsu. The Foxen spots out this one, so I don't think it's going to be a freebie for EVOS to take, but as they get that, oh, Hans is in a very bad spot. He does dodge out the ultimate, which is great, but first one comes out from nowhere, activating that Darcy magic, and there you have it, 1 kill already here for BRU. And they're not even done just yet. They're chasing it down hard as Summer activates his Lubu ult. He's going to be enraged, but of course they back away, knowing that Hans is already down. That DS is pretty dang juicy to get.
I like how BRU is using, like how Varus is the frontliner, but when Varus is dropping low on HP, they swap out. They use Summer to go in front instead. There is like an equalization of who's going the front line, while Elsu stands quietly at the back, just doing his sniping job.
And with that, they get themselves the Dark Slayer. It's not yet over till it's over. That's what they say. So Linus into the front lines. He might get caught out here, but of course Nunu is onto the side there. They try to go for a snipe rather than the wave clear.
The Foxin, is this a little bit too far in front?
It's just fine.
Yeah, it's just fine.
That's happening though. You did see Lubu and Darcy kind of rotating to the top end, to the mid, to maybe get some towers here and there. The first one, knowing that he doesn't have any opponents just yet, can actually just take at these camps freely and starve Wero out just a smidge.
They are splitting 1 on the top side, 3 on the bot lane, and Darcy still has the dragon with him. Will he release it? Dragon and the Drake will be summoned in the mid lane, but bot side, the Foxen will be taking down Wyvers.
Yo, Y-Force ate a good chunk of like 2 snipes there, and then ultimate drop down from the Foxen. Yes, please. Now Drake is actually here into the mid lane. They do take it out incredibly quickly, and that Drake is still plenty healthy. Could start to take them down. And while that was happening, bottom tier 2 is here.
They can't really take it down because they are constantly zoned by one. There's Elsu, there's Alice, so they can't really get near to the range of killing off the dragon. And finally, the Drake will be taken down, but sad to say the tier 3 tower bot side will be down.
This mid could actually follow up as well. Beautifully executed there to keep Polka in the middle of it. He's still getting chased down. And what was that? The snipe from Nunu from down under? He's going to be able to get that into his dreams. My goodness, Nunu is incredibly fast pace, the 360 no scopes, the sniper disaster that is Nunu here, shutting down Poka, getting the mid-tier 3. This is all falling directly into the hands of BRU. They dive right in. There's going to be the pullback by Summer. Wira is already knocked out. Now Y4 trying to run from the sidelines. Here comes Hans. He's going to try to absorb all of the damage because he is that Zephys. Does get the shutdown onto Summer there though, but while all of that shenanigans was happening, Nunu with this Elsu break at that top tier 3.
That will be the EVO's base being bare open right now. It's really gonna be hard for EVOS to defend this, as all the super minions will be released in all 3 lanes. How will EVOS try to defend this?
I don't know. We were talking about this one a while ago, right? Like off stream. Like if you lose all your tier 3s, more so than not, you will definitely lose the game, even if you try to defend.
It's really struggling because at one point, all the members will just rush in your tower. There's too many things to handle. You want to handle your opponent, and at the same time, you want to handle the minions. There's too many things to focus on. And what's worse, BRU is going straight for the Dark Slayer, which means they will try to release the Drake. An extra thing to focus on for EVOS to clear off.
Oh, they're running. Oh no, Y-Force, he was in such a weird angle there, even through the Phantom. That was way too far out into the open. They have no towers to back them up here, and they can get even dove upon if they wanted to. Hans is another casualty that's going to follow up, and even though he is the Zephys, he should be able to actually survive all of that. It's not going to matter when it's a Dark Slayer up team, when it's 5 of them crashing down from up above. And here he is. Poka just comes out, follows through. There's only going to be Fall to remain, and the Nexus is already being taken here. That's going to be game 4 into the pockets of BRU, finishing off, well, this one 3-1, and one more game. They go into the semifinals.
Buriram still is standing strong, even though they did give away 1 game to EVOS in game 3. That didn't put them down. They still climb back up.
Yeah, because you can't really think about what happens after a game already finishes, especially in a best of 7. If you try to kind of think about it way too hard, you're gonna definitely, really affect your mentality going into the next game, and being able to play out or kind of ignore that fact and just keep on playing will definitely kind of give you a better chance into the following game. And BRU, I think they did that for themselves. Aside from that one though, the performance of BRU in general was incredible.
Especially coming from Summer and Defoxen. I constantly see how Summer and Defoxen, they are constantly standing in front of the teammate, being the first engagers, the first initiator. They managed to zone out the members of EVOS at the final fight during when BRU was taking the last top tower. I saw how Summer and Defoxen just ran into the face of EVOS, just managed to clear them off while the rest of his members take down the tower. It's kind of a really good teamwork coming from there.
Yeah, and I mean, aside from that, I feel like there was just very little that EVOS really did to kind of counteract what BRU had in terms of their win condition, which is to just have Elsu from the backline snipe. And for some unfathomable reason, EVOS always had a weird... their solo players were like in weird positions where Mar just shouldn't have been in mid, too overextended. They had to pay the price with that one. And now, after finishing that series, it's already 3-1. Match point already for Buriram United Esports here, guys.
They just need 1 more to secure the spot into the semifinals.
So we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, is it going to be the end, or will EVOs fight back? Tune in on the next one after we just take this break. All right, again, the AIC Arena of Valor International Championship 2019 is brought to you by our sponsors, Tencent Game, Garena, CJE&M. Ourselves on the next one.
OGN, True Online, and True Icon Hall.
Yeah, so my name is Asarai. This with me is Yumiko. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere. This is AIC. Once again, guys, welcome back to the Arena of Valor International Championship 2019 Quarterfinals. I can see it on the wall. My name is Asarai, this is Yumiko, and again, today is the day Buriram United Esports versus Evo's Esports, already at match point 3-1 in favor of BRU.
We already gone through 4 games, now we're going into the 5th game. What was your prediction earlier on? Was it a
4-1? Yeah.
4-1. So let's see, will your prediction come true today?
I'm still 0-2 for my prediction, so if I get this one, at least I'll be happy that I predicted it right. But I guess I feel like Evo's fans are not happy at all, depending on like how Evos have performed this day, because like they can do well, but the way that they win is a bit kind of unpredictable in a sense, where they really force the limits of how just they play the micro game rather than how BRU just plays it. You know, they really want to just force their opponents to play the macro game. They do from time to time do go aggressive as well. But for the most part, you really can't see how they emphasize the gold gained first over everything else.
Not only that, their positioning in the map during the match was also a bit off on the side of Evos. Like early on, you see the Maja getting caught off here and there, and the previous games also, like in Game 1, Game 2, I remember some members of Evos also being picked off, like at very random places.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Evos isn't really kind of a new team. They have players such as Y-Force, such as Wira, who were from the Indonesian team, I think playing from AWC 2018. That was like a year ago. They performed exceedingly well, but now they're really struggling to find their stride. And I think it's more of like how the balance of AOV has kind of shifted from back in the day to currently right now, and it's a little bit scary to think that from once was looked to have looked like such a strong region, now reduced to what is now the current Evos.
But not only that, if I'm not wrong, 4 of the members of the Evos, they have been playing together as a team for quite some time. So I assume they already formed out that kind of synergy among themselves.
Yeah.
And this is how it brought them to where they are today at the AIC quarterfinals. And I really hope to see them perform more in the 5th game. Maybe pull it out to the 6th game or even a 7th game.
If they can, that would be a miracle that Evos, of course, would want to happen. Because again, they have to win straight 3 games. Because they can't drop a game at all. And doing that against BRU is, it's going to be a difficult road for them.
Especially, you already dropped down 3 points at this point. You have to keep up that morality among your team. So they might be beaten down to the fact that they are down by 3 points. But I hope, as a professional player, they're probably still standing strong. Like, they're still looking forward to the 5th game, the 4th game, how they're going to pick it up. And it's all up to Evos, and this is actually an important part of being a professional player.
Yeah, the ability to be able to just pick yourselves up, even though you're not in the best of instances, of situations, will show what a true professional esports team is. And I mean, Evos really aren't in the back of the bunch. They were able to perform exceedingly well during the group stages. Yes, they've lost a couple of matches here and there, but they were able to match up perfectly against Olympus. They got 2-0 against them. They went 1-1 against AHQ, which again, these two teams very, very exceedingly strong. Although there was like a bit of a weird instance where they went up with this series of 2 against Nova. And then Nova kind of just cheesed the bejesus out of Evos, and then they won that 2nd game. But aside from that, it was pretty good for Evos.
Speaking on the side of BRU, do you know what history? Do you know a little bit of their history coming back from?
Aside from BRU just being kind of like the wayward Thailand team, they worked really hard from the start of this year, because I think like at least at the very start of 2019, they weren't really the strong Thailand team that we were looking for. They kind of morphed into the BRU that we know now. Again, they lost their game during the AWC 2019 against the Vita earlier this year, and now they're looking to redeem themselves. They actually performed really well in the AWC, but once they got out of their groups into, I believe, the playoffs, that's when they kind of like got 2-0'd and then like screwed over. But they were 9-0 in their own group stage, which is the same performance here. And now in the group in the playoffs, they're not choking at all. They're performing extremely well, and this is the BRU that are probably the top seed in this entire tournament, maybe second only to Team Flash.
Speaking about that, we'll be going into the band pick, and this will be the 5th series of today. 3 score over to Buriram, while EVOS scoring 1 point. This is match point. Now Kilgrove Crixie will be picking up by BRU, while Yena on the side will be picking up by EVOS.
Dangerous to actually have a Kilgroth already up here, but of course EVOS, knowing that there is now the Verez, Muret, and Yena, really strong duelists, really strong poke heroes to wheel down at this Kilgroth as the game progresses. Now BRU, they're looking for their 3rd pick here. Don't have an ADC just yet, don't have a support. Maybe they can finally get a Thane for themselves, which could work well against the Verez and the Yena. But they hover over the Valheim. They will actually lock him in.
Valheim, overall, it's like a very good all-rounder hero. It's kind of decently well against a lot of champion, even though it might not be the best, but it's like a decent overall good champion. I remember that upset where BRU dropped 1 game against Flash. They were fighting against a Valheim jungle.
Yeah, so maybe they'll bring out the Valheim jungle this time. It should be pretty strong if you think about it, because there is that point where Valheim can push Murad out of his own jungle if he does have help from like a support. So maybe we'll be seeing that one. And that will be taken out from the board by BRU here. Not entirely sure about that one, but there is the Keelan removed as well by EVOS.
What would the last ban? What would the last ban be? Probably have they picked up a Zenil also? Oh yeah, they already picked out Zenil. So Marja will be banned off by EVOS.
Did BRU just use this like around game 2, I believe?
Oh yeah. I'm not sure why they banned off Marja.
Oh, they haven't locked it in though, so they're probably shifted into something.
Teamy.
Yeah, there it is. There's definitely a strong, kind of like a sub to a Zip if you think about it. They're both cute, but they also have really good abilities to keep the ADC alive. And Valheim isn't really the easiest of ADCs to kind of escape with, so it makes a lot of sense that Teamy does get removed from the board here.
I remember at one point during the ESL where they have to pick up the MSP championship, Teamy was basically perma-banned. It's like a very sad scenario. Then it's happening to the Zip and Quicksays. It's the same thing.
Yeah, always the supports, always the cute ones that get banned. Nacroth here will be knocked in by BRU, so first one will be using that onto the jungle side. So this definitely is going to be an ADC Valheim for the moment. Now, there has been a lot of denials in terms of the supports already from both of these sides. So I'm looking at maybe the Chognar or more so the Lumbar to come out here from BRU, as they have used before as well.
They definitely need like a tankier frontliner to protect, especially the Crixie and the Valheim. Crixie can't be exposed to any danger, especially you see on the side EVOS they have a Varus, and BRU on the last match they have proven to be very strong on the Varus, where the Varus can just dive in to your face, just lock everyone in, throw out the skills and chunk out a lot of damages. So they definitely need to find a tanky frontliner for BRU.
Thane was still actually open, so that's actually forgot about Thane there for a second. I thought that they were gonna pick him 3rd actually at the very start of this draft, but they put him at the very end, really focusing more on damage heavy picks for BRU. Now with Thane actually in their sights, is Thane actually better than Lumbar at this point? Well, he does seem to be in terms of stats and overall utility is the better option. So BRU are going to be looking at this with eyes wide open. They have an extremely strong jungler that's going to be spiking in the late game the best, and they'll have Valheim to push towers very, very well here. But counter that is Violet with her own range, but she also needs to kind of, you know, farm up a little bit first before she gets to that spike.
This matchup from the Buriram, you can see it's kind of a little bit slower pace than the previous one, as the Necroft actually, as a jungler, he needs some time to slowly farm out. Necroft is the kind of jungler where you don't really see him around, but the moment when you see him emerge from the jungle means he's quite pretty fat.
Yeah, that's true. He'll need definitely a lot of good farm first before he can really start to like rack up here. But that's why you have the Crixie. That's why you have the other picks here. That's why you have also the Kilgraf. But this just means that BRU are gonna have a composition that's pretty gold reliant, and I think having a Thane as their support will help the case of them to prolong this game. And it seems like BRU are back on form in terms of how they normally win out the games, and now it's all up to Evos to match that, exceed that, and push this all up to a game 7, or else it's all over.
There we go. We will be going into the 5th match of today with Evos on the blue side and Buriram United on the red side.
The scary thing here for Evos is that they're already at the edge of insanity. It's already match point for BRU. One more win, and that's going to be it. They're going to go to the semifinals here. And I'm checking this out. Evos actually has Fall playing at that anime Violet skin. Of course, you always want to use that. Probably one of the best skins in the game. You can even change the look of your tower.
Oh, that's really interesting coming in from Arena. Well, it is what I like about it. The graphics are great. Oh, first one will be going into the Wyverns.
They really want to go force a fight here. And look at this, out of nowhere, they just kind of come crashing in. There's not really much crowd control for Evos to work at with. And they just walk up to their opponents and smack them silly. There's going to be a lockup onto Y-Force and the pushback onto Isalindos. He didn't even know that he was right there. Y-Force got bamboozled, put back into his place by this Thane, and that is 2 straight kills for BRU.
Definitely bamboozled. Like, I would thought that BRU with this team comp they will play slow and steady, but in fact they already picked up 2 kills in the first 2 minutes.
Well, I guess there was just some mispositions there, but using the Nacro to actually start was ingenious here for BRU. Evos on the other side, they tried to kind of counteract that, but I mean, if you think about it, there's a lot of beefy targets, beefy users here from BRU, and they're coming out here just guns blazing, forcing themselves hard onto Evos. Isalin's gonna get caught out here just a little bit, but he does have the ability to escape out from this one, and even through the temporal turbulence, this is a Thane. He has thick armor, so all that small dagger stuff coming out from Weera, it's not gonna happen, it's not gonna matter, it's not gonna be able to deal any damage at all as well.
Polka once again getting caught off at a weird position just now, leading to his death. That would be already 3 kills going over to the side of BRU. If this keeps going on, BRU will just slowly snowball from here.
Yeah, this is never what you want to see. But BRU are also using their, the rotational speed of their heroes to kind of outmatch Evos' response. For now, Evos are on their own timer. They have to wait for this Violet to kind of come into play. Polka once again will get caught out here. He has been the odd man out for Evos. We did see this from Game 1 and Game 2, and now going into this Game 5, it seems like Polka once again with the Sephara this time. Not really looking too hot, not really looking too spicy.
Oh, I like how quickly they rotated the bot side right after they picked up Polka Q from the mid side. Is Evos be able to like kind of pick up this kind of fast-paced movement coming from Buriram?
I mean, they're a very aggressive team themselves. They should be able to do this, but the way that they need to kind of win this fight is that they have to set it up, because Morad needs to get stacks first before he can really deal the good damage. Y-Force isn't gonna try to respond to his team because Summer is keeping him attached to the top lane. So it's already gonna be onto Sephara, onto Hans to really make the matters work for them, because Fall is also just in his own lane farming. Now he's level 4 though. He might be joining his own team there, but BRU are playing around the win conditions of Evos, and they're not letting them kind of win.
Definitely not letting them a chance to actually get out of their lane. You see how now 4-man is actually collapsing onto the mid side, slowly rotating over near to the Abyssal Dragon. As it is up, they will probably want to try and take this.
Evos take it. They got the range.
They got range, but who will be finally taking Evos? Who will be taking down the Abyssal Dragon?
Still though, that's gonna allow your Evos to get a little bit back into their own hands, but still looking at that gold lead, it's looking mighty fine for BRU. There's gonna be the initiate here. Poka's gonna come on the sides. First one gonna be able to net away from this one. And while all of that was happening, look at that solo kill for the Foxen. The ability to lock down by this Valheim is mighty fine scary, especially against, well, Fall, who only has a tumble to be able to escape that. And that's not really good enough for him right now.
Now we're just 5 minutes into the game and Buriram already picked up 5 kills for themselves. If this goes on, like, it will just slowly snowballs from this point. You see, the Sephara constantly getting picked out by Buriram. The top side, Yena unable to get out of the lane. But now
you saw that they really wanted to contest and commit to getting first one right there, but they're diving in a bit too over-eccentric here. There are 4 members of Evos right now onto the mid lane. Summer is joining onto the fight, but all of that preparation, not letting any kills, they need to find another objective to make that rotation matter a little bit here. Maybe get more damage onto the bottom tier 1. That's going to help out their case here, but the Foxen is right here.
Crixie is on the way to back up. It's nearby, so it's very hard to try and target the Valheim. But they do try. Look at that. Polka is, even though Polka has that range, but it's not enough. Oh, the Moonfall coming through. The
Big damage.
Will land the stun, but 3v4 down there.
Activates the King's Glory there. There's gonna be the bottom tier 1 finally destroyed here by Y-Force, and that is Evos pushing back BRU. They get themselves a big objective. They even get themselves a kill on the Cylinders, and that will at least keep them afloat for now. But look at the level comparisons to the different players of this game.
The leveling differences. But how about the leveling difference? It's pretty equal, with Summer 8 leveling just 1 level above the Varus, but you're looking on the Valheim, he's 1 level below. Even the Teen too.
Yeah. Still though, being 1 level behind against your counterpart, especially if it's a Kilgroth, is not a good marker at all. Isolendo's just gonna try to run back through. Oh no, Violet! You try to go against the Kilgroth, you're gonna have a tough time there. You saw that the Murad wanted to chase down hard onto Summer even though he was low in HP, but at the end of the day, it's still a Kilgroth. If it can smack you, he can lifesteal off of you. There's gonna be the chase down. He tries to micro over. This is actually working well for Hans because they can't really knock him out yet with their auto attacks. Has to be the skill shots finally take him down. But that took so much time that now first one could actually be taken away from the mid. Still, the mid-tier 1 is here. Nuno will be pushing them back, trying to get maybe a knock-up. And onto the side, it's the Kilgroth. It's going to be bloody. Yeah.
The Varus managed to actually try and take a little bit damage onto the tower. They will still linger around the mid lane for now, but at the top side just now, can see how Yena sustains so long with that small, tiny amount of HP.
Yeah, it works well for her. But of course, having a counterplay could have been much better, but would have been much better rather for the Yena there. Now here it is, the full brunt of the BRU roster crashing down onto the top lane, looking for that top tier 1. Darkslayer is also not too bad of an objective here as it's already about 8 minutes into the game. Well, that was happening. Look at Summer just getting all that good farm, all that good loot into the bottom lane by himself up against the Yena.
Oh, a team fight going up in the top side.
Oh, Isalindos will actually get caught out right here. Good stun from the Sephora there. Using her ability to kind of catch them with her range. Summer onto the side here. I mean, he can really deal some damage if you want to. He doesn't have an ultimate though, so no anti-CC just yet.
Not only that, his teammate is pretty far and not around. I guess it's best not to risk it and just try to fight 1v4 all alone. But on the side of EVOS, 4 of them is actually at the bot side trying to just push out all these towers, get the objective. This is what they want to play around now.
Yeah, because like the win condition or the strength of EVOS now relies on them sticking together because the team by presence of Buriram is not as strong as EVOS if they use their ultimates in tandem. And that is actually what's going to happen here. They're going to be able to get this bottom tier 2, but as all of them actually just collapse onto the bottom lane, only one was needed to destroy 2 top towers, which was first one. And that means that they lost a lot more in terms of the objectives with the jungle, but EVOS still keeping the gold even against BRU.
Oh, first one getting caught out. He managed to escape, but still get killed off by Poke.
It's gonna hurt quite a little bit there because first one did not expect that to happen. Nunu onto the side here. They're gonna try to go for a chase maybe onto Y-Force, but they have to be worried that they don't have the Kilgroth with them. Speaking of Kilgroth, he's going to be in a 1v1 against the Murad. Wira is hot on his tracks. They're going to chase him down, and he actually just kind of goes over the side there. Nunu gets the knock up. That's going to be pretty bad for Wira here. He does not have the Temporal Turbulence, and they are hot on his heels. Stun from the Valheim. There's the knock up. Defoxen will be able to get it, but while all of that was happening, it seems like Wira was able to use that moments of notice from BRU here, netting his team the Darkslayer.
Vera is a good distraction for his team to go for the Darkslayer, but they are now on a chase towards Polka.
Other than Polka, they also spot out Hans here on the Yena though, but he immediately backs away knowing that Nunu and Isalindos was onto the side approaching him already. Y-Force gets spotted here. Summer is in a 1v1. He will have actually a 2v1 situation here with that Violet. Has to back away, still has the ultimate, but has to be careful that they don't try to miss position. And while all of that actually transpired, mid-tier 1 taken away here by BRU.
BRU is slowly sticking up together as a team. They have to stick because EVOS is really stronger when they play as a team.
Yeah, they can use they can definitely utilize their composition more when they stick together, but only for the mid game. A couple minutes of fast, it's gonna be already closing up into the into the late game here. And the more that kind of happens, the better that BRU will become. But come late game, that is when the Violet will start to show her strength. Maybe it's Ignite right now, but we'll see. We still haven't really seen Fall really pop off with this Violet.
Oh, speaking of popping off there, right there, Sephora will be picking off the kill on the Foxen.
Could be what they're looking for. This might be what they need. Nacroth, though, as well as the Kilgoth, look at where they're just kind of situating themselves here. They're just trying to kind of split push to their Hot's content. Look at the damage from the Nacroth. That is incredible. One more auto attack should be the tower here, and they actually get it. That's going to be a trade in here. Top tier 2 for bottom tier 2. Here comes Summer. They're going to force out the fight. They know it's going to be a 3 versus 4. And Y-Force is very, very low. Summer's not going to get denied at all. And first one onto the side, he's going to be able to chase hard here because he has that triple dash coming in from the sidelines. There's going to be the Mura Temporal Turbulence. It's actually going to shut down first one. They push them back. Wira is right now smacking them silly. And Hans joins in onto the fray, gets pushed underneath the tower. Gonna be scary here though, but as Defoxen is still alive, this should be still good for BRU. Nunu though, oh, that was scary. But still, even trade for BRU.
It's an even trade on the kill hit, but not an even trade on the tower. Definitely now they have lost all their tier 2 tower on the side of BRU. It's gonna make them a little bit more harder to get out from their base.
Yeah, at least in the next 25 seconds, if they can keep the waves managed, there's gonna be the Darkslayer, which would help anyone right now for both of these teams. They definitely wanted to get that Drake into their arsenal. And of course the Darkslayer buff itself, that's going to give a good heap of teamfight presence for whoever claims it.
Now the problem with EVOS is that they have really strong area damage coming in, like from the Burat. You just have to group the side of Buram together. You just throw an ultimate onto them And then the Yena comes through, the Sephara comes through, and then even the Varus also has a huge chunk of damage. So one thing that Buriram can't do is actually to stick together in tight spaces, especially.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like that's what they're doing right now. They're using Summer as a split pushing tool. And speaking of split push, the damage from the Nacroth is mighty fine insane. So we are already seeing first one kind of, you know, show his real stride, and this is the power of that Nacroth.
Now Darkslayer has been taken over the side of BRU. Will they release the Drake, push it in, get that tower? They have to execute really good team fight. It's a do or die right now.
Positioning of BRU, you can already see that you're trying to coax Evos to go in here. Also, aside from that, they're just trying to clear the waves and make it so that the lane equilibrium is in the favor of Buriram United Esports here. Nacroth onto the side there. I think he's just trying to clear out as much of his wave as possible. He drops down a Drake that's going to be pushing ever so slowly in the bottom lane. And as that pushes, this is where BRU are starting to kind of close in. You know, Fang's already expended or out, and they're going to wait for that perfect moment to strike.
Oh, Vero at the side trying to poke off Summer, but not enough. Three of them are actually gathering at the bot side. Moonfall comes through but did not connect, but instead a huge chunk of damage is inflicted on him.
Ooh, it's Lendos. One auto attack from the Violet though, that's scary. But still, here's the Dragon here. Nacroth is kind of stopping him onto the wayside. This could be the opening already that BRU are looking for. That Drake is still alive, still at 40% HP, and now you can already see BRU closing in. They're trying to force out the issue here, but they said to themselves otherwise. And Rage Dragon is the next step for us. The Foxen actually gets it. Forces first one to actually go around to the corner. Another Moonfall will actually connect here, and the fight erupts. Y-Force into the front line. Fall coming into the sides. Look at the damage, the auto attack from this Violet already. Mighty aggressive, mighty strong. And this will force BRU to back away for now.
Oh. Even though they did manage to take the Abyssal, the Enraged Dragon for themselves. But the damage output coming from EOS is a little bit too much for them to handle. So they are forced to actually back off a little bit, heal up, come back. But at this point, it looks like BRU is starting to struggle a bit in terms of team fight.
Yeah, one big mistake, and that's going to be a straight to the Nexus push by Evos. This again because Evos does have that late game composition with the Violet. I mean, there is a late game composition for BRU, but the Violet is just kind of like the true hyper carry. You know, because of her range, because of her damage output, it's very difficult to deal with Evos right now. That's why BRU are approaching this as carefully as possible. And now we're already 16 minutes into the game. This is the true late game. One mistake could make or break.
Oh, the Fire almost caught up Islanders right there, but at the bot lane, Summer and Hands going to 1-1. First one is nearby to back him off if anything happens.
You can see the positioning of Evos. They have 3 members into the mid lane. Summer's in a really tight spot here. They're collapsing onto him as a 4-man. But then he had to use his ultimate there to back away. Here's the Darkslayer. But they still do have the Enraged Dragon and the Darkslayer. This is going to really help out BRU.
Now they have to position the Drake at a very good position in order to distract the side of EVOS and find that opening. Is either you push it in or you find a good team fight to catch the side of EVOS 1-on-1. Like right now, they're picking up Vero.
They're trying to pick up Weiro, but he still survives. That is, I mean, for a more intensive purpose, a squishy target, but he's still able to escape because he is that Murad. And Kilgroth did summon the Drake onto the bottom side. I'm not really a fan of this. They could have just actually pushed with the Drake and maybe have used it into a 5v6 type of scenario where the Drake would be pushing on the tower while BRU are, you know, distracting their opponents. And speaking of distracting, it's a big team fight on the top lane.
Team fight top lane, the Foxing getting to pick up Vero, but Vero will flicker away. Summer coming from the side, just slashing onto Veros. Oh, a lot of damage onto Vero. Polka will be trying to pick up Summer, but on the side, Hands is... Whoa! Look at the damage on first one. He is forced to back off, but Vero will not give up.
Oh, ultimate from Violet barely missing onto first one there. They're still hot in the chase, but they're not... They shouldn't be able to actually collapse onto BRU's retreat here. Although Summer, you can already see, is onto the top lane. He knows where the other members of EVOs are. He just back away if he would have wanted to. 3 members of EVOs are here into the jungle. This could actually allow Summer to go to the top lane and push at that Nexus as EVOs is being distracted. Look at Summer. He's just going ham onto this one. Who's he chasing down? It's actually Hans. Not going to be able to take out that Diana because she's a very tanky target right now. Very durable, so to speak. But this is just, again, another back and forth. That 3,000 gold lead, it doesn't matter anymore.
This is a very, very strong match, as it's a match point. One mistake will cost you, or one mistake will send EVOs back home, or we push game 6.
My predictions are not ready for this type of explosive gameplay. We're already locked into level 15 on all teams, and I feel like we're already locked into the items as well. So now it's more of a battle of attrition, a game of mistakes. One wrong step could spell disaster.
Yeah, Yena and Krilgraf on the top side is just having the match of Cat and Mouse. Look at that. First one, Summer fighting on the hands, but first one a little bit too squishy to handle the damage coming from Yena.
Well, that was happening. There's going to be a 3v4 around this Enraged Abyssal Dragon. This actually isn't in the favor of the EVOs. If they can maybe get this one, there's still the King's Glory. Not going to happen at all. And there's going to be a big kill there. Defoxin will actually revive, but he still goes down. Nunu will follow up here. Where is first one? He can't really find the targets. 50 seconds onto Nunu, onto Defoxin, onto first one. And this could be terrible. But while all of that was happening, Summer shuts down Hans. This might stop the onslaught. That is going to be the 3-4 members of EVOs crashing into the mid lane because there's still a tower up there. There still is Alindos and Summer to stop their push. But EVOs definitely in the driver's seat.
They have to hold on for 30 seconds for his teammates to come alive, but it seems like not Summer. Oh, he managed to run away in the brink of hell. A little too dangerous like that. If they lost Krilgraf right there, it will be disastrous.
They would have straight up pushed that. Now, Fall is still up, so he can really destroy towers if he gets the ability to just kind of free hit it like that. Look at that damage already. That was just kind of like a love tap on that tower.
Slendis is trying his best to go in, but Summer will be trying to stop them from taking the tower, sacrificing his life. No!
Doesn't even need to sacrifice his life there. He just needed to lifesteal away from his opponents, and still the tier 3s of Buriram are standing tall, keeping the EVO's dream not alive. Well, for now.
I like how BRU, they still managed to stand their tier 3 tower strong, even with just 2 members standing.
EVOs are here. EVOs are still fighting at it. Darkslayer is up already. Hans will get spotted out here. Defoxin onto the side. Y-Force will be coming as well. Forced him to use the flicker over the wall. Had to respect that Y-Force could have made him into sashimi. And now is Alindos coming up from the sidelines here. Will try to provide much needed information while Nacroth is right there. He's going to be pushing onto the bottom lane. They know that, I mean, even after through all of this, EVOS is not in a good position because they lost their top tier 3. Nacroth can try to go for the split push, and he can still rotate back with his team. This is dangerous for EVOS.
Nacroth, with the high mobility, he can just go around from the bot lane to the mid lane, then to the top lane in just a matter of seconds now. Straight going for their third Darkslayer right there. They have to make use of this streak very wisely.
They'll probably push with it right now to mid. There's no more outer towers to speak of to be taken down by BRU. But I mean, aside from just that, they can just use this time to deny big objectives for EVOs. They could actually also wait for the dragon, which should be up in about, I don't know, like maybe a minute or so, which could definitely help them in the fight against EVOs here.
BRU still holding on to the Drake, finding for a good opportunity to release it. For now, EVOS is just a little bit turtling into their base. Summer looking at that Exterminator, just slashing away all the minions, slashing the lane.
Yeah.
He looks like a sweeper.
Yeah, just having that little broom and then sweep, sweep, sweep. So here's the thing, right? The composition or the team that EVOs have created for themselves will play better as a full unit. But Buriram has made their composition work well even if they're separated. But the thing is, the rotational speed of EVOs is enough that BRU can't split push to the fullest of extent. But this is forcing EVOs to not over push outside of their tower or outside of their base because they're afraid that first one as well as Summer can destroy towers in like 3 hits.
Yeah, they definitely do not want to get separated, especially on the side of EVOS. They know when they're separated, they can't really fight. But look at that, as a team, they try to cat on Summer.
He still has an ultimate, so he should be fine. You know, not gonna be easily locked down. This is why the Kilgroth is so strong as at the moment. Isolindos is like right out of there, and here it is, the Enrage Abyssal Dragon. Isolindos into the front line to delay anybody from EVOs to even touching at this big objective, and that is it. Drake is already up here. They might even want to force a fight right now.
Yeah, definitely, Isolindos going in, but did not really connect through. But on the side, Summer still doing his best, clearing the wave, pushing in, giving a little bit of pressure right there. Not allowing them to actually get out of their home.
Get away from me, that's what they're saying here. Drake is actually still up, even through all that damage, only losing 1/4 of his health. This is huge. They can even corral onto the mid because of that Drake threat that will be pushing to the bottom lane. Hans has to push him back, but he's not really the ADC to do it. That's supposed to be Fall, who's already 50% in HP. How many revives do they actually have? That's the question. Smack it down into the face of Fall. Finally, the bottom tier 3 drops right now. Wyforce has to push him back out. First one actually doesn't do anything, but this is, again, dissection done well by BRU.
After so long, releasing 3 Drakes at the bot lane, they finally managed to get the tier 3 tower, but now a fight will be starting right here.
Oh, big fight there. They actually spot out onto Summer. He does have the revive, still was able to dash away, keep himself out into the fight. Not yet over for BRU. EVOs, though, getting these pop-offs onto those resurrection items against BRU are gonna help them in finishing off this game. But again, the thing is, they're losing tier 3 towers, and that is, you don't want that happening.
Like how BRU, even though they look a bit struggling against EVO's full team fight, they still managed to dissect a little by little patiently. They did not rush into things. Whenever a team fight is being engaged, they try to disengage as soon as possible because they know they can't win the team fights.
Yeah, but I mean, again, this is AOV. This is a MOBA. You don't only win by breaking, by getting the 1-up in the team fights. I mean, of course, it does help you immensely, but you can do what BRU are doing right now, which is to wait for the Darkslayer, use that Drake to your advantage, use it as another distraction tool, and then slowly chip away at the tier 3s, which is what they're kind of using as of the moment. Darkslayer is already up, and BRU can take this one for themselves.
They're definitely fighting for the opening to actually go for the Darkslayer, but now EVOS is actually halfway in the map, so they probably do not want to risk it. They know they are gonna aiming for Darkslayer to try to stop them. A little bit of poking here and there.
I can see just BRU, they're waiting for the waves to push on the lanes without the tier 3s, and this is making EVOS ever so antsy. Look at the damage connecting onto Weeraw. He has to actually heal himself back up. Where is the Violet? That is the most crucial target right now for BRU to blow up, and Fall is positioning himself ever so slightly behind his own territory, just because if Fall goes down, well, it's in his name, EVOS will also fall.
United we stand, divided we fall.
Exactly.
Yeah. Both team is playing extremely safe right now, just finding for the right opening, and is this it?
No, they just bait out a couple of ultimates there. First one takes a little bit of a chunk. EVOs are pushing onto the mid. They say that this is it. Let's just go for it. Let's just enforce ourselves onto the mid. We've cleared already the waves here and whatnot. And they're going to be starting the Darkslayer. This could be big. Oh my goodness, the damage though. Weeraw survives. Reaper's Blessing keeping himself afloat. Nunu onto the side. They're just not get connected by the ultimate of Violet. He's not going to get blasted away. And while all of that was happening, the 1v1 first one is a monster. He was able to sniff out the positioning of Weeraw. And now this is going to be a 4 versus 5. The numbers advantage to BRU. And look at them. They're collapsing onto the mid lane using Summer as well. But they decide otherwise. This is a Darkslayer first. They have 30 seconds. Maybe they're going to go for the killer push now.
Now that will be the 4th Darkslayer. They immediately release the Drake into the center because that is the last tower standing. They want to take it down, which is very crucial to end this series once and for all.
15 seconds before Riro comes back up again. The numbers is disadvantage against the side of EVOs. The dive right in. They actually just not look at it anymore. One more hit. That's going to be the Nexus. And look at the faces of VRU. They're like, high five, high five. We got it, we got it. They bypassed. They didn't even look at the mid-tier 3. They said, like, screw it. You know, damn it. We're just going to go for that Nexus and end this off before Wiro comes back.
I just realized how squishy AOV cores are. It's just like, Summer just went in, poof, they won.
Yeah. I mean, people do tend to kind of forget that, right?
I didn't really.
I mean, even I also kind of forgot it. This year. I thought they would destroy the mid-tier 3 first before anything else, but wow.
I didn't even realize the core was actually taken down.
Was that just that squishy? But still, a good game for EVOs there. They really pushed it for this final one. A definite good ender to the series. The big thing about that, though, was Wira mispositioned a little bit, and first one knew exactly where to find him. And once that happened, it was already obvious that they wouldn't be able to contest for the Darkslayer. And now coming into the mid with 15 seconds still before he respawned, it just made it so easy for BRE to decide, like, screw it, let's just bypass this mid-tier 3, break at the Nexus, and get our win already.
Even if they do not bypass the mid laner, they still have a Drake that's helping them to push. They have a full team. EVOS has one member down. Just look at that. The MVP goes over to Killground.
He is, like, Summer has done immensely well in corralling multiple members of EVOS to try to rein him in. Because if Hans, with the Yenna, tried to actually do the 1 versus 1, he couldn't deal with that. I mean, in the long run, the sustain of the Kilgroth much better than the sustain of the Yenna, so they really needed, like, the Violet to shut him down, and this has kind of just allowed basically BRU to do what they wanted around the map, and they just kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Encased EVOs into their own base. EVOs could never really push up outside of the rivers, so that was just kind of, like the bad factor that EVOs really had to overcome, which they didn't. So yeah.
Like, even though, like, during the mid game, you can see that EVOs, they had really promising team fights. When they fight as a team, they do exceptionally well. They pick off, they manage to shut down BRU. But slowly from that, BRU managed to adapt. They know that they can't fight in team fights, so they drag it out. They slowly drag it out. They took out 4 Darkslayer. They put it in the bot lane. It failed a few times, but finally it took down that bot lane tier 3 tower. Then from that, it just threw EVOS off.
Yeah, it just threw EVOS off their mark. The thing that, again, you have to be very wary when you go up against BRU is that their ability to keep themselves balanced, even though they're in the lead, right? They're not forcing the win because they knew that EVOs are still a big threat, especially when the Violet got this big in the late game. And it was very inevitable that she would actually reach that power level of hers, that spike. So they did the best thing that they could have done, which is to use the resources at hand. Like you said, keep using the Darkslayer, the Drake, to keep pushing out the lanes. And while they're distracted, while they're trying to eliminate first the Drake, they slowly chip away at those tier 3s. And it worked after the fourth Darkslayer. And well, when they got Wira, that was all it.
Yeah, that Wira. The moment they picked up that one member, it just threw the whole EVOS off because they need their core member. Wira was one of their core member. Without Wira, it's a little bit hard for them to execute. We need the Murad. We need that ultimate. Because that ultimate is actually what shreds off most of their HP. And he can go in and go out and still manage to stay alive. But he got picked off, so a little bit unfortunate there.
All right, guys, so we're going to end the stream today. It's been a very interesting kind of set of matches here. We didn't really expect Buram to kind of be pushed to the limit in that last game, but EVOS did a fantastic job at making them work for that victory. But still, though, my predictions got finally right, but I did not expect that to happen. I really thought that EVOS would push this to a game 7 just because how they won that Game 3 and almost push this Game 5 into Game 6. So anyways, we're going to end the stream here, guys, and we're going to be seeing you tomorrow, 5 p.m. GMT plus 8. That's Singapore, Malaysian, Philippine time. I think in Thai, that's like 4 p.m. GMT plus 7. So anyways, this has been the Arena Valor International Championship 2019, presented to you by Tencent Games, Garena, CJ, E&M,
OGN, True Online, and True Icon Hall.
Yeah, that's where the venue is going to be for the finals. My name is Asarai. This lovely caster right here is Yumiko, and we'll be seeing you tomorrow for the match between Hong Kong Attitude versus One Team Esports. See you guys there. AIC is not yet over. Yeah, see you guys then. Bye.